Hello and welcome back. It is going to be another incredible series that we have fun. This has been an absolute pleasure casting today. We've had so
Mhm.
many amazing matches, but we got another one waiting for us on the horizon. It is going to be Sweet Moose versus Gaming Gorillas, and man, this is going to be such a good one. I cannot wait. Break it
Yeah.
down a little bit for me, Fawn.
Yeah, Gaming Gorillas versus Sweet Moose. I mean, these are some names it is that we've witnessed before all the way in the past. These are not new to Rogue Company or to the CMG Showdowns. I have definitely been impressed with a lot of Gaming Gorillas, honestly. And same thing for Sweet Moose. Sweet Moose, we have Canny, Who's That, Swap Outs, Sin, we have Fank, Pix, Cool, Inc. Like these are great teams to be able to have. This is Seed 2 versus Seed 3, by the way, mind you. Like this is has some high place seeds. These are great players. They know their way around this game. They understand this game, and that's why this match I think is going to be absolutely great. Like this is a wonderful opportunity to be able to see these two teams play once again.
Oh yeah, big time. Two new teams
Mm.
at that. A little bit of changes coming out from each one, but let's go ahead and take a look at the series layout for this series that we're going to be watching.
Mm.
Looks like it is going to be Canals Demolition to start off, followed by a Breach King of the Hill, and then we're going to be going back to Favelas for Demolition. Factory King of the Hill, and last but not least, Palace Demolition. If it goes there, who knows? I kind of want to see it. Not gonna lie, but either way, both of these squads, let me just say what I find interesting about these squads. So we know that Inc. he decided to leave, to depart from Just Us. Now, one of the reasons
Mm.
why he left Just Us was that, they played in a smaller tournament, things like that, and the tournament didn't go well for Just Us. They got 2-0'd in that tournament. They looked kind of shaky. So Inc. said, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and go my own way, and he ended up leaving them for the team that beat him. So he is leaving Just Us for the team that beat Just Us in that smaller tournament, which is Pix, Cool, Fank, and at the time, Rugi, but Inc. is going to be taking Rugi's spot now on that squad. Now, for those of you guys that
Mm.
remember that are OGs of Rogue Company competitive, Inc. and Pixie are very good friends. They've been playing together from back in the console days, from before they made the switch over to PC to play competitively. They have been teaming a long time. They've teamed way back in December, January. They've teamed for a long time.
Mm.
They're very, very close. So they have a lot of chemistry. So not exactly too surprised to see Inc. go to play with his old teammate simply because there's that natural chemistry there. And even though you're on a powerhouse team, sometimes it might just not feel right. So that looks like it's a situation for Inc. So let's go ahead and look at these bans though, because it looks like the bans have already come out, and it is going to be Kestrel going to be the
Mm.
ban for
Interesting.
Gaming Gorillas, and Sweet Moose going to be banning out the Ronin. Now, this is
Interesting.
very, very interesting. Now, Gaming Gorillas, my guess is if they are trying to take somebody off of their comfort rogue, my guess is that they're trying to take Who's That off of his comfort rogue, and they're going to say, look, Who's, you're going to play something else aside from Kestrel on this map. The thing
Mm.
is, though, is that Swap Outs and Sinmade, let me just say this. Swap Outs and Sinmade are console players. Let me just say that right now. Let me repeat myself.
Yeah.
Swap Outs and Sinmade are console players, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're sitting at
Mm.
home on an Xbox One, on a new PS5, whatever, and you're sitting there like, man, I don't have a PC. I can't. These guys are proving that, guess what? You don't need to have a
Mm.
PC to be very nice in competitive Rogue Company, and they are proving that right here today. As like you said, they've got a top 3 seed coming into this. And man, they did an amazing job. If you watch that qualifier when they
Mm.
qualified, they were turning heads and taking names. And now that Swap Outs and Sin made, they've swapped out 2 players. Ironically, swapped out 2 players for Who's That and Cannibals. Now we already know Cannibals. He's known for getting top 3 so many times. He has come in top 3. So we got to see. He's got to pass this team if he wants to do that again. So we're going to be loading in right now. This one is going to be very, very hectic, man. Canals Demolition. We've seen it before. We've seen it a million times, but we love to see it again because this map is so good when it comes to the team-oriented pushes, the defenses, the retakes, and there's the music hyping it up, man. This one is going to be a serious barn burner, man. When I say this one is going to be amazing, man. Ah, I cannot wait, man. So much firepower coming out on both of these squads. You look at, man, all the snipers as well. We didn't even talk about that. We were talking about exclusive sniping. We got Cool on one side. We got Pixie on the same team. And then we got Swap Outs, who is known for his amazing sniper action. And who's that? Who's known for pulling out that sniper occasionally. We might see some more amazing headshots coming out. Who knows what these rogues are going to be, what rogues are going to be picked, what these players are going to pick, because there's so many different rogues that are available. And it looks like we are going to be getting a quick reset, so it's not going to be a big deal. We'll be jumping right back into the action. Resets are much quicker now. Shout out to the Rogue Company team for making resets a lot quicker. You don't have to do the most, exit the game over, things like that. You can get right back into things, so it won't be long whatsoever. We will get that music right back hyped up. Don't even worry about it. We will be right back into the action, because Canals, it is going to be such an amazing map to watch between these two rogues. What rogues do you think we'll see most likely out of these sides? Because we've seen Canals before today.
Well, Talon's been one of those more contested picks that we've sort of seen on that map, right? I mean, Canals is one of those maps where Talon actually gets a lot of usage there because he's able to not only watch mid, which is the big factory area, and then you have to worry about either A or B bomb site, throwing out your radar dart and just consistently checking, like pretty much inch by inch is what we would typically see. We would see somebody throw out the radar dart. Okay, nobody's there. Recall it. Toss it out again. Recall it. Toss it out again. Recall it. Only if somebody's there will they leave it so they can get the information to where if somebody's rotating or they're trying to commit to site, that's pretty much the only time where you would actually see them actually leave the radar dart there. Talon's one of those picks. We've seen Glitch before. Glitch is one of those characters that gets banned a lot on this map because of the versatility that Anvil brings to either bomb site. There's not a lot of places that you can plant either on A or B to where Anvil wouldn't just be able to block you out, right? Like he's a great character to be able to be picked on this map. And Glitch is not only a great character as well, but it's also a good counter to Anvil. It sort of deters people from picking certain characters because of that character, right? So Glitch is obviously someone that people probably are going to keep in mind for this match, I would imagine. You also have Lancer. Lancer's another great pick that you sort of see on this map often. She's great at utilizing being able to pretty much weave in and out a lot of these fights. The quick and quiet is always prominent, even though it was changed recently that she can't quite, be as stealthy as she's used to be, right? You have a situation now where you can really be more concerned about still catching people off guard, right? You can still keep people in pressure, you can still keep people locked down, and it's still it's still a very present threat that you have to be concerned about. So those three always come to mind. I'm always thinking about the Glitch, I'm thinking about the Talon, I'm thinking about the Lancer. Those three sort of rotate in terms of who actually ends up getting locked in. And we typically see Glitch in the ban column here, but that doesn't seem to be the case this game. So I'm curious to see how they'll actually adjust their draft and perspective.
Yeah, the last time Glitch was up with these two teams, or with at least today, it wasn't played. So right now, with that quick flick, it looked like this squad actually did ban out Glitch. So I'm not sure if that was correct or not, but we will just have to wait and see from these two teams, because this is either way going to be very, very amazing from these two squads. I don't know who I have winning. I'm going to be completely honest. If I have to pick a side, if I have to choose a team in this situation, I'm going to go with Sweet Moose. I'm going to be completely honest. I'm going to go with Sweet Moose over Gaming Gorillas. I understand a lot of people have Gaming Gorillas as the favorite coming in, but this is what I'm going to say. Experience trumps all, and when it comes to experience, nobody's more experienced than Cannibals and Who's That as his teammate. So personally, I really think that this squad is going to be showing out today. We might even see this series go the distance. We also got to see how Ink is going to be performing with this Gaming Gorillas squad. We have not seen him perform with this squad in a tournament format yet, so we have no idea if this squad is going to mesh well or if things will fall apart. We have no idea how all the attitudes will combine. There's so many aspects to making a roster change that have to go flawlessly, and we got to see exactly what's going to be happening right now. But it looks like Canny going to be on that anvil. They're going to have a defensive Talon as well. And yeah, man, a lot of nice, solid rogue choices coming out of this squad for the side of Sweet Moose. I like the defensive composition already.
Yeah, same here, honestly. I mean, sometimes the best way, a great offense can be in the form of defense, right? You can have a really strong defense, and that is, in a way, your offense. You have the anvil actually pushed in here, like he's locked in, he's ready to go. And like I mentioned before, Anvil is one of those characters on this map that actually gets a lot of mileage out of any bomb plant. He's great on the attacker side, he's great on the defensive side. And most of the time, you're actually going to just try and save up your barricade to when play actually goes down, right? Because you're going to have this plant lock people off from being able to stop you post plant, and it just sort of allows you to pretty much get the bomb for free, right? Because as long as they run out of mollies, they run out of abilities, they run out of things that they can actually use to clear you off of that bomb, they can't get past that barricade unless they physically push you. So I'm not too surprised by seeing the anvil. Same thing for the Talon and runway on the side of Sweet Moose.
Oh yeah, big time. And you can see the Talon Dart already going to be clearing things out slowly but surely. The defense can hear that. They're not going to be too deterred. There's a Talon on offense and on defense. So now the big question is, where did that defensive Talon put his dart? My guess is, since that Talon is over at A, that he put his dart somewhere in mid. We really aren't going to be able to know, sadly, where exactly that is. But it's definitely going to decide how this squad on defense is going to be playing. So slowly they are pushing out. They do know that one player is going to be on that backside. So they're going to re-put that dart there so that they know exactly where this player is. You see the bounce nade coming out. That's going to land perfectly on swap outs. You got to understand that if there's no trophies there, you're asking to be killed, honestly, because it's such an easy bounce nade with the angle of that blue crate. And right now, C4 coming out. Sinmade going to be able to take out Fank. He's going to get full killed. And just like that, Cool takes out Who's That. Pixie is able to take out Canny. And right now, all they got to worry about is this Talon, last but not least.
Yeah, it seems like right now there's only one still remaining. Talon on the opposing side. I mentioned it before. You see the Talon sort of throwing out the radar dart, recalling it, doing the same thing over and over again just to keep the pressure up. And that's just sort of the reality of that, right? It's just keeping that pressure on them, doing what it is that it can. Actually lights up Ink and really lowers Cool as well. Tries to come around the side. Pix is there, keeps the pressure on, and is going to finish that one off. That's the first round that goes to the Gaming Gorillas.
Oh, yeah. Nice 1-0 start for them. Nice offensive plays overall. Right now, I want to go to the defensive Talon. If we could go to the defensive Talon's POV, that would be awesome. I don't know if we could see that, but that would be awesome, because I want to know exactly where he's putting his dart, because if he's putting it in mid, then that will mean that he's got to watch the A bomb side. If he's going to leave it at A, I want to see if he's going to be playing for the mid. I just kind of want to know exactly what this Talon is going to be doing on this defensive end. So let's see where Sinmade is going to be putting this dart, because last round he was over at A, which makes me think that he put it in mid. And right now, looks like he's going to be heading over to A to go ahead and put this dart over here to lock down this site. That is the one thing about Ronin not being on the map, is that this Talon dart will be able to reveal everything, and he hasn't used it yet. That is very interesting if you're the side of Sinmade. And yes, the dart's going to be going right to the middle cut. So that's going to be a dart on the B cut. So that's where they're going to have that constant intel and know exactly how many players are there. So they'll be able to retake that B cut, which, oh man, he was almost able to shoot that dart. He wanted to turn and shoot that really quickly. That would have been a very big play from Sinmade. And it looks like this might be a middle push, as that Talon dart was able to tag him. And now the flashes are going to be coming out. You see a player is in mid on the other side of the window right now. Are they going to be making a hop over play to try and take him out? Now, Sinmade does need to watch his back, simply because the Talon dart is in mid. So, you know, if a player is going to be sneaking up through that A side, it's not going to be very good for him. But it looks like Ink and company, they are going to be trying to move on over back to this B site, but is there going to be a player at B to stop this push? Only 30 seconds left, so they're going to have to commit to the B site right now. So we got to see what's going to be going down with that warfare right now. On that side of the side is Ink is going to be able to take out swap outs right now. You see Sinmade, he hears the call. He is going to be pushing over immediately, but two of his players already got taken out, and just like that, that is going to be all four in the drink. And a 2-0 lead for Gaming Gorillas.
It's actually wild. That was a slow, methodical push on the side of Gaming Gorillas. They're trying to use what they have to their advantage, right? I mean, they're obviously not trying to be overextensive or anything of the sort. They realized that they were behind, and they went, okay, we're just pretty much going to sit and chill and just wait and see what's up. We're not really going to do really much else other than that. And that's exactly what happened. They sort of just let them play at their pace, let them play their game, and that's how it ended up working out. So I definitely think that was a great job, and it ended up netting them the round. They've been doing well so far, honestly.
Yeah, extremely solid play, and yet again, they just set it up Yet again, just that pushing out that backside of B with smokes. It's such a popular play. It's been done many, many times in the past by so many teams. Famously known for being the just us play. Usually they use a chalk with it, but no chalk on the map right now. So you got to do with what you can, and they were still able to make the play work extremely well. You see Pixie, he's able to get one on the dart right now, so he knows exactly where Sinmate is, and he's just going to be playing for this middle area. Now, he does have the bomb as well, so he's just got to be extremely careful right now.
Right now, it seems like things are once again on the slow and methodical side. Fanks waiting around on A site for the most part. He is getting pushed, though. Got to be careful. Throws out the ensign, but he's getting pushed from either side. He's not going to be able to make it out. He gets lit up and downed. Now the rest of them have to find a way to escape. Fank, cool. First two that go down, and they get picked soon after that. Ink is the only one that finds a kill this round for their team. And that might be enough. He is able to at least pick up that. Who's that? Tries to swing around, gets the push, and they actually make it out. Talon escapes with barely any HP. He's going to make it to the site just to plant, or at least try and see if he can wait for a second. Has the nade, tosses out the Semtex. They are pushing him. Manages to get one. Wait a minute. This is possible. Tries to go for the plant here. Smoke goes down, and he's actually going to use that smoke to try and escape and get a further plant deeper towards his side and try and make it work for him, but he doesn't. That actually would have been a really sick play, but he's not going to find his way out. Instead, he goes down.
Yeah, nice defensive play overall by this squad in Sweet Moose. Good stuff coming out of Cannibals right there at the very end. Just solid plays overall from this squad, to be able to pull out this first round on defense. You got to start to win these defensive rounds, and you got to do it quickly. And as you can see, man, Ink, he was trying to make something happen, able to get one down, rolled away. He wasn't able to finish it, though. He was about to plant the bomb, but he thought a player was going to be pushing him through the smoke, so he decided to go ahead and relocate and go ahead and plant that one at the backside, but they didn't let him get out after that one, as there is already lifeline on both sides for these teams. And this is going to be a very, very slow game. I feel like it's just going to be a lot of patiently waiting. He's going to be refilling those trophies yet again, putting those bad boys down, as he's able to get a little bit extra now. And they're upgraded, so that's going to be a total of 6 projectiles that are going to be able to get deleted by those trophies, all at that back propane area.
Yeah, it seems like right now they are once again like every single round so far has been like very slow, methodical. Yeah. They're letting the intel do their job and sort of just waiting for information based off of them, right? Tosses up the radar dart once again, and they definitely know they're all back there now. Has the opportunity to recall it, but he's going to leave it right there, just like I was said that they would do during draft. This is pretty much how you would play Talon. You toss it out, but they actually push into so much. They don't push into so much. They push through a lot. There was a plethora of different utility that they had to get through there. They had to worry about the C4. They had to worry about the nades, the Kestrel drones. Like they just pushed through it.
Yeah, and right there, the Claymore actually downed Ink to start things off. They were starting to push the site fast, and that's the one thing you got to watch out for is the Claymores. And people forget that Runway has those in her kit, and she puts those bad boys down. You got to watch your step. It's just that simple. And Ink, he doesn't have tenacity yet. It did not work out for him right there. I believe his other teammate did have tenacity. That's why his other teammate only went down to 40 HP. So I believe that the Talon had it. And the Dahlia didn't, unfortunately. So obviously got to prioritize that fast res. You can see the cross right here as he just saw a player going to A. Now that is a new spot that a lot of people are starting to use to see the cross to A. A lot of players don't know about it. So guess what? If you just watched it on stream, guess what? You learned something new. So that is definitely a newer thing in this game that hasn't really been done for too many months now. So not too many people know about that bad boy. So the fact that he was able to see a player cross over to A, that's amazing intel, because now they're going to be a little bit more spread out, a little bit more cautious. But honestly, that could come back to bite them if this offensive squad decides to regroup and push out this backside B site that they've done so many times.
So far, Cool and Fank are just really waiting close by, but they've sent the bomb off with their other teammates to try and see if they can force a split. Right now, they're pretty prominent control over over this sort of objective here. Cool, Fank. And now another teammate has joined the fray. Ink is in mid. and they've been trying to see if they can slowly push forward, make their way in. They get shot up from their spawn mostly, playing behind that big cargo crate in the back. While someone's playing close by Propane, pulls in the radar dart, tosses it out,
Oh,
and it gets shot. And well, it doesn't get shot; it gets dealt with by the APS.
yeah. Yeah, and yet again, they're going to be pushing this backside. They've already got 2 down. That's a 3rd down. And this is going to be another clean round, even though they get down from the Claymore. It's not going to matter. They're going to get that bad boy up, and he's going to be good to go. All that's left is the Talon. And even though he's running for his life, able to get some nice damage in, that's not going to mean anything because this round is over. They're going to be going down 3-2. And this is a solid performance on offense out of this Gaming Gorillas squad. Now, the question is are you going to be able to keep that? Oh, my goodness. He might be able to get one. Yes, he's able to get one, and he sees the other guy. Oh, man, that was close. That was so close. He might have been able to do the impossible. Who knows? But, you know, not able to pull that one out. So Gaming Gorillas feeling good, up 3-2 right now.
2 more rounds, this current round they're in right now, and then the round after that, and then we'll be looking at a potential half switch. Gaming Gorillas doing well so far in terms of maintaining their lead. I actually like how they've been playing. Out of everyone it is that we've seen today, I think they've been playing the most patient. I think they've been waiting extremely well. We were watching Just Us earlier, and that's one of the matches it is that I definitely think that they were also playing extremely patient, but it feels different when I'm watching Gaming Gorillas do it, right? It feels unique to them. They are really, they're not afraid to wait. And this is what, out of all the time of Just Us playing patient, this is what I feel like Gaming Gorillas is doing, and I feel like that they're manipulating the clock a little bit better. I think they're playing that clock a little bit better. Because they're not afraid. They're really waiting until like some of like the last few seconds or so. They want to gain as much intel as possible. They don't feel pressured to push in immediately, except for when they see an opportunity like this being posed to them, right? Like now they know they can create space and walk forward, but it's very methodical. It's like, okay, now we're here. What's our plan now, et cetera, et cetera. And now they're moving in. You see them going through mid actually to see if they can force people out.
Exactly. That's what you're going to see right here. Most likely, and no, they're going to be pushing out yet again. They're pushing out this backside slowly but surely. You see that player already dropping down. 2 players are down there. That means that they are going to have a head glitch advantage. Pixie, though, is going to be able to take out one. Ink takes out another. Just like that, the head dink from Fank comes out to help. But no, that player is not going to be given up so easily as he's going to try to take him out yet again. They're going to just plant this bomb for safety reasons, as they have already taken out the Talon as well as the Anvil, and that is just going to be massive. That's your intel and your retake, so now you just got to worry about swap outs on this sniper, and right now he might be able to make something happen. We've seen a lot of 2v4 situations turn on their head. Who knows what's going to be next, because right now Cool is able to take out Who's That, and that means only one player is going to be left, and he is going to be getting pushed very, very swiftly by this Gaming Gorillas squad, and that is going to be a 4-2 advantage now on the offensive side for Gaming Gorillas.
Right now, I think things are looking pretty good for Gaming Gorillas. Once again, as mentioned before, they seem to be doing well with playing the sort of patient game. They rarely make one play, and then you can tell they sort of consult together about what it is they need to do. And the next play, it's always done together. And I think that's sort of what's outpacing Sweet Moose right now. I don't think I've ever seen a time where they've taken one-on-one fights. I think there has always been, unless they were like the last man standing, right? But other than that, they've been swinging out together. They've really been trying to clear a lot of these angles together. And I think that Sweet Moose are sort of struggling to deal with that pace. Because while Anvil is good, the fact that he's saving it, not the fact that he's saving it, the fact that he has to save it to make sure that he doesn't use his barricade early because of how pivotal that ability is sort of stalling them on being able to retake site a lot easier. It's making it way more difficult.
Yeah, and right now, they just really got to find a way to stay alive before the bomb goes down. When they get in a 4v4 retake situation, you feel a lot better as an Anvil player, so you just got to play to your strengths, and that's the retake. So we saw them try to back up into the pit before, and it didn't work that time. Not exactly sure what's going to happen, but Cool does go down. but he's going to be getting Dahlia res, and that trade is going to be coming out, but Swap Out's going to be able to snipe down Fank. And right now, are they going to be able to get him back up? That is the question. Because if they aren't, it's going to be a 3v3 situation for this offensive squad. And just like that, they're going to be getting him back up. And now they got a decision to make. Do they go A with the bomb, or do they commit to B? They're a little bit stuck right now. And crossing might not work out, as they do have the smoke for cover. They got to dodge, and they got to get to the bomb site. And yes, they're able to barely get there, and they're going to be planting for the ship, at least attempting to, on the left side of this box. And right now, oh man, who's that? Who's that? Who's that? You're in a lot of trouble. And just like that, that is a solid round yet again from the Gaming Gorillas, going up 5-2 on the offensive side. And right now, if you're the side of Sweet Moose, you're going to need an answer.
You know, right now we are swapped to a different half, 5-2, just like you were mentioning, Rome. See what the adjustment is here from both teams. Sweet Moose hovering the runway first. You've got Trench, Dahlia, Talon, Dallas, 2 Intel already on the side of Gaming Gorillas. That's what's crazy about that. There have been times where people have run Intel, and sometimes 2, some people will argue, is like too many, no pun intended, because you're having to deal with, like, okay, you have the information that you needed. I think the Talon radar dart is enough, and I think that's perfectly fine to be able to utilize that, right? That's more so what the issue is making sure that you have enough of that pressure, enough of that intel to make sure that you can actually clear out a lot of these different angles. But I think that's only, I think it's good enough to do it with just one person. I don't think you need 2 for it personally. Now, the fact that this is sort of like almost a mirror match, except for one difference, they have Trench on one side, Runway on the other. It's better. But I think that we've seen a lot of the times on defensive sided not defensive sided teams, but like on defensive sided maps or games, whatever it may be, whatever it is you want to call it, that the intel teams don't have a way of stalling or preventing people from getting on a site way easier when their team is like aggressive. Because we've seen the Chalk Scorch Lancer team before, right, on Palace, I believe. And there have been lots of times where those aggressive teams have really counteracted getting that intel, because sure, you know we're here, but we're going in anyway. It doesn't really matter, right? That's not stopping us from doing that.
Yeah, exactly. And, you know, right now it is going to be a little bit of an A push, or a B push, excuse me, coming out of this squad for Sweet Moose right now, but they are worried about their flank. It looks like they do have an inkling that a player is flanking, which there is a player flanking, so that is the right feeling that they do have, as that player is already pushed up all the way into the boat. Looks like he's going for that super long flank that we've talked about so many times. So yet again, man, another player, and that's going to be Ink on the Dallas. So he is way in the back already, most likely going to be taking that zip line pretty soon to try and hit this nice flank. And, you know, if Gaming Gorillas are able to stall out enough time for Ink, this is going to be very, very, very good for them. And the thing is, he doesn't have padded steps. He has a stem. Instead of padded steps round 1, he bought a stem. Forget a molly, forget padded steps. He's going with a straight up stem, but that's going to pay off because he's able to down the Dahlia, finish her off, make sure she's down. Got to reload, though, to take out the Trench, and just like that, Ink is in a 1v3. He's trying to get the revive. He understands his spinal cord is barely showing, and he's not able to take out Swap Outs. And Swap is going to be able to put him in the ground swiftly, man. A nice play all around from the side of Sweet Moose, as they were able to push up. Like I said, man, if Gaming Gorillas could stall long enough for Ink, but right there, Sweet Moose, they were able to press the issue and make them fight them 3v4 before Ink could help them out. Great stuff.
I think that opportunity is best taken by pushing that instead, in my opinion. I don't think that there was enough time for Talon really to be able to be picked up. He had no HP left, and it sort of puts you into I guess it puts you to a better spot than where you would have been, but with how low Runway was, I think in any situation, if you're expecting to lose, or if you're like, okay, well, I'm not really like expecting to like be able to clutch this, or whatever the case may be, it's unlikely for me to do that. Then I think the best option in that scenario might be to push, because we saw how low that Runway was. We saw how low they were brought. And that's sort of the issue, is the fact that I don't think it was really taken advantage of enough, because I believe one of them was also already downed. So it really turns that 2v1 into a 1v1 if you push that. And since he had the stem and everything of the sort, he had to use the stem while he was retreating to go pick up the talent, instead of using it to sort of keep himself in the fight after he takes that battle against Runway. But it's neither here nor there. We're already into the next round already.
Yeah, and right now they're setting up poised and in position for this B bomb site. And right now you can see swap outs. He is aiming hard, aiming right at Cool, waiting for him to peek, letting him know that guess what? You aren't the only one with a nice sniper shot. The swap has already hit a couple of nice ones in this map, and he's just going to be checking that corner, making sure that nobody is in that close one before they try to plant this bad boy. And you can see Pixie, he's already going to be coming back to this B site just because they do realize that there are a multitude of players over here. So a little bit of a pinch going to be coming out. He's going looking for that sniper shot, waiting for them to peek. Right now, nobody is peeking him, though, and just like that, he's able to hit one. Able to head dink Ink as well as Ink tried to hop up, and are they going to be able to finish one? Yes. Oh my goodness, is the Simtex going to land? No, but he's able to do 78 onto Ink. Ink stems on up, so guess what? He's going to get revived, or excuse me, they're going to revive the Dahlia, and we got ourselves a 4v4 retake, Fun.
Yeah, right now they are at least able to push in. Swings around the corner, swings close as well, catches him by surprise, and they down two. Has the ability to be able to pick up their teammate. They do manage to do that on the side of Sweet Moose, and because of that, they make the odds uneven. And now they proceed to make it a 4-5.
Yeah. Odds a little bit more closer to coming even right now, but guess what? They are feeling very good, and they're looking good on this offensive side. 2 solid rounds on offense out of this Sweet Moose side. You know, one, they were able to push out the bomb site with a player flanking, and you know, the second one, this second round, this last round we just watched, they were able to straight up win the 4v4 fight at the B bomb site. So right now, Sweet Moose is going to feel very comfortable at B, regardless of what the side of Gaming Gorillas is going to do. So why not switch it up and go on over to A bomb site? We know we can do B. Let's go ahead and feel ourselves over at A. Why? Because we got to see how A is going to be. We already can hear the Talon Dart. We understand that he's going to be putting that bad boy here. They're going to know that we're coming to this site. Now it's going to be all about execution and making it happen quick, and that bomb might be going down fast. Simtex going to be almost coming out. The C4 is going to be coming out. Canny was able to shoot it. Yeah, Canny downed himself shooting the C4 that came over from Pixie, and they weren't even able to get the bomb down, and Canny is going to be getting full killed. That is literally the worst situation. But who's that is able to down Fank, and that's massive, but he's the Trench. He's going to be getting Dahlia res most likely, but just like that, they're able to down the Dallas as well. Now a 3v3 situation. The Trench did get back up. They're going to try to plant this bomb and most likely back on up. Now, are they going to be able to get that Dallas up? He's been down for quite a while. Yes, he's going to be standing up. Now it's a 4v3 retake in favor of the Gaming Gorillas. They are going to need to push out these players in Sweet Moose, who are homing up right now in the back of the boat, as they can see it very easily from here. I don't believe that Sinmade has a molly. He does have 2 stems in his back pocket, though, so he is definitely going to be primed and ready to start this bad boy up.
Now looking for any opportunity. The smoke gets tossed out. They're at least trying to keep the pressure on as much as possible. Ink is pushing up the staircase. They are at least trying to keep the pressure on. They have to swing this a little bit more aggressively. They do. They managed to get the rest of them, and they have plenty of time to defuse. They just have to stick it, and that should be the round going to them. Did he let it go?
Oh my goodness. He let it go?
That has to... I don't
know, but all I'm saying is it's happened a few times. I don't know, but hey, look, it is what it is. 5-5, man. Things happen, man. That's all I gotta say, man. You gotta make sure that you're holding down that button. Make sure your controllers are charged. I don't know what else to tell you at this point, man. These players gotta hold that one down. Simple as that, man. 5-5 situation now, and that one is heartbreaking because that's 3 rounds in a row for the side of Sweet Moose.
I don't I'm not sure, honestly. Like, there's no words for that. 5-5 already a tie. Sweet Moose are gonna try and see if they can move in. Who's that pushing around the corner? And Cool is going to have to retreat. Same thing for Pix as they back up, sort of giving them the space as they need to work with, as B side is becoming more and more flooded by Sweet Moose, tossing out radar dart after dart to see if they can try and scan and see where people are at. They know nobody's mid, or at least not playing close, so they're going to leave Dahlia on the flank. just to watch. Ink manages to get one, but they take care of Ink and finish him off. Sin is still down and not out yet. Cool wants to push up, and the nades are flooding through. C4 gets tossed down. It kills one, actually. Doesn't down the other, but Cool takes care of two more. This is now a 1v1. Won't be able to get the talent up, and Fank is going to be able to finish that one off. Gaming Gorillas make this a 6-5.
Man, and he hit a body shot, almost able to hit the headshot for the win. That would have been absolutely massive if Swapouts was able to land that one, man. You saw Ink, he played up aggressive on the boat, and it ended up getting a nice trade for him to start things off, but man, came down to the 1v1, 5-5, and just like that, Fank was able to win it. Ah, man, and that was so close to being a headshot from Swapouts. I know he's kicking himself right now, simply because guess what? If you're going to switch from your primary to a sniper rifle instead of an AR in that situation, you 100% have the confidence in yourself to hit that shot. You 100% are sitting there thinking, yeah, I'm pulling out this sniper and it's going to be over for him. I'm not going to even get in a gunfight because all I'm going to do is hit one shot and it's going to be over for him. But sadly, he was not able to hit it, man. Looked like it was a neck shot almost, man. So close to being able to clutch that one up.
Yeah, they're this
and they know he's behind.
Yeah. Pix is stuck back there, actually, and they're going to try and see if they can push around on both sides. Not much health remaining. C4 gets tossed out. They're looking for the finisher onto Pix right there. I believe Ink got forced back, and they definitely were pushing around the corner to try and help Pix, but it was too late. He actually had gotten way too aggressive. They knew he was back there. He was trapped, and they couldn't swing around in time to actually fight back because I think, based off how Sweet Moose were already positioned, yeah, they couldn't do much about that. Ink goes down, and that's already 2v4 scenario for Gaming Gorillas.
Yeah, and it looks like now they're going to be switching it back up. They're saying, okay, cool, this is working out, rotating back and forth. We got to kill at B. We rotated over to A, got to kill on Ink at A. Let's rotate over back to B, and just like that, they're going to get another down on Cool. So this rotation game is working out for the side of Sweet Moose, and this is most likely going to be a 6-6 situation. And man, I love it when it comes down to a best-of-3 round count. That is what I really love to see, man. And right now, Fank, he's got to wide swing this to take out these players. Sinmade, he's going to get taken out by a Claymore, but Swapouts able to come in with that Sahara and finish him out. And we got ourselves a 6-6 situation. This one is coming down to the wire.
Yeah, this is becoming more and more dangerous as time goes on. 6-6, as we're talking about 2 rounds apiece for either of these teams to be able to win. 6-6 tie. A total of like two rounds that definitely have to be played out, right? Like there's one that could end up going to 7-6. There's one that could end up going 7-7, but I would say about like 3 rounds total is what they have left in them right now, because this is an extremely close game. This is how the last match we started off on, was like, it was extremely close. And now we have a situation where you have to be extremely unfortunate. You had to be extremely unfortunate to be able to like to sort of like lose this after like a tie, and you have to make sure that you keep that momentum moving forward and the mentality to keep pressing on. So
oh yeah, big time. And right now you can see Sinmade, he is on that flank duty. That is his job right now, and he is holding true with it. He's not even snapping. The confidence to know that a player isn't going to be coming through this A boat is just a good read. He most likely hasn't heard anything like any silent hops or anything like that, things players typically do. So really no reason to snap, but he's still checking his back just because the player might be stalker walking all the way behind him. But looks like he's going to slowly come over back to his team now that he realized that there isn't going to be a fast flank from a player like Ink, because Ink loves flanking, man. He's tried it already so many times on this map. So we just got to see how this is going to work out. It's a slow round coming out of both teams right now.
Gotcha. Yeah, so far, so good for Sweet Moose. They've actually made a lot of space here as they try and throw out the smoke just to try and deter people from pushing in and through it. They don't know what's on the other side. But it seems like right now they are at least trying to push out through mid and keep the pressure on them. Fank downs one, and who's that? least for the time being, is taken out of the fray. They've got 5 seconds left, and I believe I heard them planning the bomb. I think they did make it there. Throwing out the C4, manages to down. No, they weren't planning, actually. It seemed like they had started, but had stopped for a second. They swing around and get the rest of the kills. They planted at the last physical second, but they're just going to sit there and defuse it.
Yeah, and it was barely behind the box. My goodness, the Gaming Gorilla is going to make sure that they stick that defuse, not letting go of that bad boy, as they are going to be going up 7-6, 1 round away on the defensive side. Really no excuses for the Gorillas if you're at this point in this map. You have the better side. You're feeling good. You just won the last round. It's time to put the nail in the coffin. Let's see if they're going to be able to do it here.
So far, so good, as I believe the defeat actually goes through. They actually proceed to move on into the next game.
I believe, I'm going to take a guess, but I believe that I know what happened. So a lot of these players do know each other, like I said. My guess is that they knew about the situation where the player was trying to defuse the bomb, and they understood that that player didn't take his hand off of the button. We've seen this thing happen before in tournaments, and we've seen a situation where Right Turtle and Justice has happened with them. Right Turtle said, you know what, we're giving you guys the round. So I believe that that's what happened. They most likely just messaged them and said, hey, you guys got that round. Don't worry. It's not a big deal. So I'm guessing that they're going to be taking that 8-6 defeat. That's my guess. I'll get clarification on that if that's 100% the case. But these players all do know each other. They've been in situations like this before. This happens in tournaments a lot. And usually we just, if we understand that it was a mistake, it wasn't on the players, then, you know, we'll go ahead and give them that round. So maybe that's what happened. Who knows, though? Maybe we might see a 7-7 reset. I don't know. Who knows, man? I don't know what's going to happen, but who knows? Either way, that was a very solid map from the side of the Gaming Gorillas. You know, you got to give props to them. They played it extremely well. It was looking shaky at times, but hey, rounds were going your way, and they were going their way in a lot, and in at the right time as well. It's just overall great stuff coming out of the Gorillas.
Yeah, so far so good, honestly. I mean, I've been impressed with how they've been playing. I love the patience it is that they had throughout that set. It really ended up showing how well it is they had played, how well everything was timed. It really did seem like they were just extremely on point, really. Like, they were able to play retakes if there was ever a time where they actually needed to push in. I love the calls that you could clearly see were being made. They would make a kill, that they would either get a kill, they would push up, and then they would probably like back off for a little bit or like still hold their position. And then you could tell they would be like, okay, well, where are we going next? What are we doing? What are we doing? And it's just like how 3 of them ended up pushing to mid to try and force Cannibals back, force him away. And even though they didn't commit to that mid push, there's still 3 of them that are swinging to peak that right. And then they go back to site just to make sure that, okay, the pressure in mid is off of us. We can push in. We don't have to worry about that for as much as we, please for that situation to still last. And so they move in, they get the bomb planted down, and they still continue on. I think that that's a great testament to the skill of those players, honestly.
Oh yeah, 100%. You can't talk enough about the skill that these players possess, man. This is an absolutely incredible series that we're going to be casting right now, and it's been an absolutely incredible day of different series from these players, man. We've seen so many amazing highlights, so let's go ahead and check out some of those highlights from this last game right now. Man, we saw some pretty good ones. You saw the B pushes that were coming out from the Gorillas. They were pushing out the backside of this site and doing it with so much aggression in those first couple of rounds, and man, overall just great teamwork, great communication to be able to do this one. And overall, I believe that that's honestly what ended up winning them this map, was the overall communication in those clutch moments, those retake moments where everything is looking like it all has to happen in those 15 seconds, those 10-second windows. They were just looking very, very clean as a team altogether.
Yeah, I mean, they, once again, like, we see situations like this where they overtake site frequently. They're already posted up in great positions. They're fighting themselves like they're fighting themselves out of like really tough situations that you see them in. This is the play it was I was talking about where runway was extremely low, and I don't necessarily agree that Ink should have pushed. Well, I don't necessarily agree that Ink should have backed off to see if he could res his teammate. I think he should have let him go there and instead pushed that that runway since she was so low. Obviously, with that being the case, you know her teammates going to come around and try and swing to see if they're going to try and keep the fight going. But you have a stim. I mean, I would think that in situations like that, that you would try and keep the pressure on. Instead, he takes the fight and stims himself because he's running away and getting shot in the back. So that's already utility that's not used optimally, in my opinion. Still a great job and great look from the team because they played an amazing game of Rogue Company. Like they did extremely well throughout the entire situation. I think that's a great look for them, and much much love to them for being able to really adapt to a lot of these situations. So
Oh yeah, big time. Yeah, they definitely did an amazing job of adapting overall. So we're just waiting on word of confirmation of that first map. So we are still waiting on an official call from the referees, from the refereeing squad. So while we wait for that answer, let's go ahead and talk about Breach King of the Hill. That is going to be the next map that we are heading on over to, if this one is going to be not replayed in any type of way. So that's going to be a very interesting one. Now, what are your thoughts on Breach King of the Hill? Because I don't believe that we've seen that one yet today.
mhm. So Breach King of the Hill is one of those maps that I think is, once again, like Runway could be a good character when we're talking about demolition, where we're talking about a lot of different situations that really rely on you being able to utilize those mollies and things of the sort. I think you just still forego everything and you just say, hey, like we're going to ban Scorch, we're going to ban Vi, we're going to keep it as is because this is definitely a map where two of them extremely shine, right? It's already really
Yeah.
great. It's super strong. You have to worry about you have to worry about Scorch outdueling you. You have to worry about Vi pretty much clearing out an objective no matter where she is. That poison is really so prominent. It destroys your health, takes away your health, and then gives more to her to her maximum health pool. Like it's something that you have to be worried about. And in a respawn game mode like that, where stuff is always happening,
Yeah.
it's too prominent. And she gets her gadget back extremely quick too, because I believe that as soon as she dies, she gets both of them back or so. I don't think that she needs to like slowly recharge or whatever the case is, since it's like utility
Yeah.
and it's based off of charges. So I like it means that she's going to be really good. And so I can definitely see them getting rid of Scorch and the Vi here.
Oh yeah, big time. Scorch and Vi, stapled bands
Mhm.
right now in King of the Hill. Definitely wouldn't be surprised if that is the choices. But who knows? We might even see a target ban. You never know. Can't put it past either team right now. Simply because guess what? Both of these teams have a little bit of changes that were made to them. So, maybe they're gonna be sitting here saying, look, I don't want to see ink on that Dallas, or maybe they're sitting here saying, I don't want to see swap outs on
Mhm.
a lot of different rogues. He definitely mains a lot of different ones. So it is going to be very, very interesting this next match. So we do have an official ruling on that first map. So it is going to be an 8-5 for Gaming Gorillas. So they are going to be your
Mhm.
victor in that one. So like I said, I figured that was going to be the case. So Gaming
Mhm.
Gorillas are going to be up 1-0 in the series. And right now, it is going to be Breach King of the Hill. Going to be very, very good.
Yeah, Breach King of the Hill is definitely. Yeah, today I don't think we've actually seen a Breach King of the Hill. We mostly seen it be played on demo, but it's good to see it here. It's good to see it now. And there's a lot of fights, a lot more. Like or at least I had mentioned that like there was a lot of cover on this map. There was a lot of pressure that you had to be worried about, a lot of flanks and things of that sort. I don't think you really see flanks here. You mostly see a lot of characters that are going to be great at duels. So characters like Scourge, characters like Chalk. Lancer is one of those characters, even though she is more of a flank s character, she still can do great at duels. Having the weapon mastery system makes it a lot easier. Her being able to roll and reload her gun means that she'll be able to do a lot more effectively as well. She doesn't have to worry about that downtime in between her fights to really reload her gun. So I definitely think that Breach is a great map for her to like. It's very common that you'll actually see a lot of these characters end up being brought out. It seems like Kestrel and Vi are going to be banned, so Scorch is left open. That's what's interesting to me, but that means that both teams will have access to that at least.
Yeah, and that's going to be major because right now Scorch, especially on this map, like that is going to be massive. So the Scorch combination with the Dallas is just going to be huge because those mollies are just going to be massive to control that hill every single time. So the fact that Kestrel's banned, like I said, we might see a target ban coming out, and Gaming Gorillas, they're deciding to do that. They said, look, you are not
Right.
going to be on that Kestrel, who's simple as that. We're not going to see you on that today. Go ahead and pick something else. So So who knows what they're going to be playing at this rate, but we can definitely guarantee that there's going to be a Scorch on both sides. I don't see any world where Scorch is not picked for both of these teams.
Same here, honestly. I mean, Scorch is one of those great duelists, and I think you are remiss not to pick her, honestly. She's way too strong, and having her on a team is always going to be good. And if you don't have her on your own, I don't think you're making necessarily the best choice if you're playing Respawn here. I think Scorch is great to have on both teams. So.
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. We are just waiting to get into that match. It shouldn't be too much longer, but looking at these ones, we're not going to be too much longer at all. We're going to be hopping right into this bad boy right now. So here we go. Breach, King of the Hill. This is going to be a very, very fast-paced game. Very fast-paced map, if you will. Very fast-paced mode overall in King of the Hill. It's all about that gunny, all about that utility usage, all about those angles, all about those crazy flanks. And now it is about leaving it on the table. You gotta leave it all right there, because guess what? Right now is where all the money is on the line. These squads are fighting to get to the finals, and just a little bit of an update for you guys, because I know a couple of you guys are wondering. Justice beat Right Turtle 8-4 in their demolition. So just a quick update. Justice, a little bit of an underdog on Right Turtle, are able to take the first map of demolition, so they are staying undefeated in demolition for this month. We got to see if this King of the Hill is going to be better for Right Turtle or not. We'll keep you guys updated, though. Don't even worry about that.
It seems like right now, though, I mentioned the Lancer, I mentioned the Scorch. So we see the Lancer, Scorch, Cool on the Dahlia, Ink on the Dallas, Pix on the Lancer, and Fank on the Scorch so far is what's being hovered. But on the other side, who's that with the Mac? Swap outs with Dallas. Scorch is also being hovered by Sin. And we are looking at Dahlia as well on the side of Cannibals. That is the team that it is they're going to be going for. I am excited to see some Mac. I definitely like seeing Mac after Gronky's amazing performance earlier today. And I'm excited to see how they're going to try him and utilize his kit on this map for sure. I mean, I think Breach is one of those maps where it might be a little bit harder to try and get a lot more mileage out of his kit. But I still think that it'll be a good opportunity to be able to see Mac, man. I mean, this is technically the third time we've seen Mac today, if you count like one pick per team with just us versus Empire of the Sun last game, both having Mac on their side. This is technically like the third time it is we see him. Second time in a game that we've actually seen Mac. So I'm really excited to see how they're actually going to utilize this on the side of Sweet Moose, as Gaming Gorillas have a very prominent and very strong draft, actually.
Yeah, no, for sure. They definitely do. The squad of Gaming Gorillas, they are... Whoa, wait a second. Oh, Sweet Moose is going to be linking with the Mac instead of the Scorch. I don't know about that, because there's 2 mollies. There's going to be 4 mollies on the map. That is going to be a lot to deal with if only one of your players is going to be able to stand in the fire. So we just got to see how Sweet Moose is going to adjust. Who knows? Maybe that was a mistake. Maybe he linked to the wrong person. Who knows? But either way, Mac's still going to be a good link. You get that extra HP. And right now, we're going to be stepping into the war zone that is this first hill. And you can see Sweet Moose already getting that early advantage right now. But it looks like they're expecting a flank from somewhere. So right now, Sweet Moose is feeling very, very good. Controlling this hill. Player going to be hopping over. He's going to get taken out. Another one going to be going down low into that bottom corner. Man, they're going to need to start to contest this bad boy. Nice shots coming out of Who's That, as they're going to be able to take out 2. No Dahlia Link going to be coming out, and the side of Sweet Moose looking very, very solid in the first few moments of this King of the Hill.
Yeah, Gaming Gorillas definitely seem to be struggling here. Cool manages to down swap outs at least. Sin manages to get the kill on Ink. Cannibals follows up soon after that. And Mac's pretty much just sitting here chilling for the most part. He's not really going to do much. 2 seconds left on the clock. They have such a substantial lead. He's going to let those 2 seconds go flat. Instead, they are now in control over the next objective here. As Ink has managed to down swap outs, but this is still... It seems like there are so many kills that are still going the way of Sweet Moose.
Yeah, right now, Sweet Moose is doing everything that they need to rotation-wise. They're making it look easy right now. Honestly, they have 50 seconds left, and you can see the side of Gaming Gorillas, they're already looking a little bit dejected, but Ink is able to come in, get 2 big downs, but not able to get the third. Who's That ends up trading out with Ink, and just like that, it is going to be Cannibals coming out on top on the hill, and they're going to be getting that Dahlia res off. Absolutely major stuff coming out of them. They're going to get that extra 30 points, and this is going to be a 100-point lead going into this third hill. My goodness, Sweet Moose are putting it on them right now.
Yeah, they are making their way back over to the next site, though, but them getting kills on their rotation in is what's going to hurt them the most. Gaming Gorillas so far have a hold on this next site. It is about to spawn in 10 seconds. Pix tries to swing out, and they're trying to see what they can do to stop this at least. Pix goes down. It's going to get killed here. Fank follows soon after that. This is extremely quickly. They're actually retaking this side. They push Cool out and manage to get the kill after that, too. And now they're in control of this next objective.
Yeah, just doing everything that they really need to right now. Every situation, they have complete control of the spawns. Now it's just going to be about holding these angles. You see who's that able to get that big down on Ink. And he's able to get that nice down with the SMG. And man, that is the reason why Mac is so good, man. That SMG, that D40, players are loving that D40 right now. It is definitely the submachine gun of choice. You see Sinmade using it. You see who's using it. So many players using the D40 over the 24S right now. You see Inky's trying to get really skinny behind that pole, but it wasn't able to help him out. Wasn't able to keep him from avoiding his fatal death there on the map. And just like that, Who's That and Candy going to be taking out Fank and Cool in simultaneous fashion. And just like that, they get ended on this third hill. My goodness, what am I talking about? I was going to say they're going for rotations. No, they're going for ending it right here. If you're the side of Sweet Moose, you have to pick it up right now. And man, I will say that this is a slaughter from the side of Sweet Moose on Gaming Gorillas. Gaming Gorillas are looking awful, to say the least, in this King of the Hill, at least in this first round. I don't know what that was from the side of Gaming Gorillas. I know the potential that this squad has in King of the Hill, but they are going to need to start showing it, and showing it immediately, because 18 points, good Lord.
Yeah, you blink and you miss it, is what this is turning out to be. Gaming Gorillas are down 1-0 right now. A Sweet Moose have really, I mean, like, only 5 points netted for Gaming Gorillas overall on this breach map so far, and that's what is probably the most shocking thing about that. They had such a strong start on the previous map. They did so well on the demo, and now you have a situation where it's like their Sweet Moose is just overtaking them almost.
Yeah, you know, whole different game mode. Maybe the favors will be changing, and just like that, Sinmade going to be taking out Pixie off the rib. Swap going to be taking out Ink in the window, and he's going to be looking up, trying to make something happen, and man, he gets deleted by Cool in the window. Cool's going to try to hop over, make a play. Molly's going to be coming out as well. The utility is definitely going to be there. Wow, I don't know how Who's That got out, but ran out of the molly back to his side, and just like that, Canny able to get 2 down with this Deadeye. You see, he is not missing, man. If you're a Deadeye with the Deadeye, you're going to be a problem, to say the least. And just like that, Pixie going to be taking out Who's That on site, living with barely a couple of HP, and that's going to be massive, because Fank right now, he is trying to stay alive, and yeah, Candy is not going to be letting them hop over to try and get positions, and they're going to be rezzing right there. They're reviving right there, yep. So that player is going to get back up. Now they're both going to heal up, and my guess is they're both going to challenge at the same time, and yes, that's exactly what happened. They're just going to push out Canny into the back of the spawn as he's going to be rotating on over. You see Pixie, he's hunting down Canny, though. He's looking for him, going to be hitting that zip line, trying to set up for these spawns for this B hill. You see, there he is, able to take him out finally.
Yeah, they managed to get rid of him, and then Who's That follows soon. Ascend is the one holding sight as best as he can. They do manage to get Cool and Fang both go down. It was definitely a 2v1 scenario. They are at least able to get swap outs, but them losing 2 to 1 person definitely made it a lot harder for them to hold on to this. Ink trying to fight in whatever way that he can, swings over just to try and see if he can get the down, stalling things out for his team just a little bit longer as Fank moves right on in and takes care of Who's That Mac on the ground, as now everyone else is trying to see if they can push in and start their own game. They do manage to get swaps, they get Sin, and that's going to be the hill pretty much given to them. They instead are on the side of Sweet Moose are going to opt to go for the opposite hill here and just set up a little bit early.
Yeah, and right now, Gaming Gorillas already in a much better position than they were the last round. They're up by about 35 going into the C hill, but the thing is that they don't have the spawns but that's going to be major because Ink is able to take out one. He's going to be revealing another. If Ink wins this one, it's going to be looking very bad for Sweet Moose, and yes, he's going to be winning that one as well. So right now, Canny going to need to hold down the spawns in the very back for his squad, but that's not going to happen as Pixie takes him out, and they're going to be spawning out, as now it's going to be a full retake coming in. This is going to look like a start of an S&D round.
Yeah, it seems like right now, Ink tries to push in, but gets a little bit too overzealous. Runs into too many people, tosses the nade out, misses Fank just by an inch. They are going to try and force him out. Mac pushes in and manages to down Fank. That's 88 to 24 so far, as he's sitting right there, still stalling time as best he can. Cool tries to push in through high ground. It's not going to be enough. Ink is pretty low. Scorch moves right on in, and Sin takes him out. This is pretty much the site for Sweet Moose, as Gaming Gorillas, I believe, are going to try and set things up for the next site after this. Doesn't really seem like they're going to try and push back into this. They might, but it seems like Sin is taking some of these earlier fights. They instead get swap outs, as well as Pix is the first one to find the kill here. They are in control of the next site.
Yeah, big time. And right now, it's going to be a nice 25-point lead for this squad in Gaming Gorillas, and they need to win this hill, and they need it bad. If they get 2-0'd right here with a major comeback, that is just going to be demoralizing for this squad, and it's going to be all about winning these gunfights. Sinmade able to take out one. Now they're going to be pushing out Cool. They want these spawns. That's going to be the snap. Here comes the push, and they're going to be taking out Cool as well. That's two that are going to be dropping. Fank drops as well. Nice headshot coming out from Canny on the Deadeye, not missing with this bad boy. And now he's going to turn on Pixie. You got to be able to hit the last one. Yes, he hits the final flick, but he gets traded out by Pixie. Nice shots coming out of Canny.
And swap outs is not going to make sure that this is taken lying down. Ink is the one that follows suit after Gaming Gorillas loses Pixie on the way back in. Cool dies once, two, and now we have 108 to 80. This lead, this point differential, is time after time getting closer and closer to becoming less and less of a gap. They're trying to see if they can push in. They get swap outs. They get Fank. Pix is down. Ink is the only one that manages to get a kill in that trade, in that exchange, and Cool is dead too.
It's
this
over.
might just be it.
It's
if they
over.
hold on for the next few seconds, yeah, they can't even make it onto site, it doesn't seem like.
Yeah,
they can't really stall them out.
Mid. Yeah, they just got to watch mid and not let them hop in, but one just hopped in. So it's a sudden death. They got to be able to kill one. That's two. And now you can't miss your shots. Hit your switch to your pistol. And just like that, they're able to bully them off of the site. And that is going to be a 2-0 victory for Sweet Moose. My goodness, I did not see one coming in that quickly, but that was a solid 2-0 victory for Sweet Moose in this series, just like that. Tied up 1-1. My goodness.
Yeah, one game goes the way of Gaming Gorillas, and now you have Sweet Moose clapping back just as quickly. This is a quick 2-0 here on Breach, as we're obviously taking time to set things up and get into the next game. But I'm excited to see how they try to adapt to that, right? Because that is not looking like the Gaming Gorillas it was that we just saw. It's like they go into a respawn game mode, and all of a sudden things are just different, right? They're losing a lot of these fights. They're losing a lot of these trades. Most of the time, they're just getting out-traded because they're having more people watch the flanks. They're having more people watch more in the face of Gaming Gorillas on the side of Sweet Moose, just to prevent them from getting in on onto site. You'll have two people peeking the same angle. You'll have three people peeking the same angle. They just have a lock on this objective, and it makes it that much more worrisome to have to deal with. It really shreds people time and time again. You're talking about the gun it is like that Mac has, mentioned it a little bit earlier, like that weapon mastery really is playing a huge factor here on this main stage. So many guns that are being swapped out that really give viability to a lot of different characters. And this was such a substantial lead too, and they just weren't able to hold on as effectively as they may have wanted to. And that's like the shocking part about it, right? Is once again, like they were doing extremely well, then all of a sudden things seem to just sort of like change in an instant.
Yeah, it changed extremely fast. So this series tied up 1-1. Just a little update on the other side of the bracket. Just Us versus Right Turtle. That is also 1-1, as Right Turtle were able to come out victorious in their Breach King of the Hill. So man, oh man, this is very interesting. So Just Us won the demolition. You know, Right Turtle wins the King of the Hill, and then in this series, Gaming Gorillas wins the demolition. Sweet Moose wins the King of the Hill. So maybe we're going to see a trend between these two semifinal matchups. Either way, we're going to be going to Favela's demolition, and now it's a best-of-3 series.
So far, you have favelas right here. Map it is that we've seen all throughout today. And potentially, I mean, well, not even potentially, we're definitely going to end up getting a game 4. We'd be moving on to Factory right after that. I mean, Favelas is one of those maps, once again, where you typically see the Lancer actually end up being brought out. Personally, for me, I would think in terms of bans, you probably get rid of the usual suspects. You might get rid of Scorch. You might get rid of Ronin or Glitch. I mean, well, not necessarily Glitch on this map, because this map is pretty, it's wide, but it's not like big, if that makes sense, right? Like a lot of the times where fights will be happening, if you're watching mid, if you're watching A side, if you're watching B side, you're going to see people going, like leaving and going, right? Unless they're like rotating all the way through their spawn or something like that. You're going to know that people are going to be leaving and swapping in and out because you can see them. The map is wide, but it's more of a controlled area where a lot of those fights and rotations happen, because trying to go around all the way through your spawn and going through different ways is not really optimal. And since the bomb sites are so close together, you'll really be able to sort of push in and clean up where you need to.
Yeah, and the big thing overall is going to be the rogue choices that we've seen. You touched on it. It's so many different options for these players because, like you said, Runaway, she hasn't been banned yet. Let's go ahead and check out what the bans are going to be for this Favelas, and it is going to be Glitch and Anvil. So they are putting Glitch out of there, and I got to be honest, as a player that does like his Glitch plays, I will say the Favelas is definitely good for Glitch on offense. On defense, not really so much. You'd most likely rather go Dallas or something like that. But on offense, it can still be pretty viable just for clearing out areas along and things like that. So, we just got to see what all rogue choices are going to be coming in. Like you said, there are so many things up, like the Ronin. The Anvil is off the table, though, and that is very interesting in my opinion, simply because that most likely means that there's going to be a Trench on defense. We're most likely going to be seeing Trench, Dahlia, Ronin. I'm not sure if you go Ronin here. I think that you go Ronin and Trench. That way you have that versatility of who you link to. That way you can have either the double grenades and double smokes, or you can have that extra little bit of firepower. But either way, it's going to be so interesting to see what rogues get selected, because if they do link with that Ronin, there's going to be a lot of rat plays that they're going to need to clear out, and it's going to be extremely hard without a glitch on the map.
Yeah, I do agree with that. There's definitely a lot of things you have to be a lot more concerned about with Glitch not being a character in this current game, in this current round. But I'm thinking about the Anvil really, because there's people really haven't been jumping at the opportunity to end up picking Anvil. And with the inclusion of Anvil, you would assume that people would most likely pick Glitch, right? If Anvil's open or in the game, people are going to pick Glitch whether he's open or not, right? So it really depends on the situation. And I'm trying to think, like, Anvil is a great character to play whether you're on offense or defense. It really controls when you can plan, it controls when you can defuse, how you plant, what area you plant in, and that's just the sort of character that he is. But in the long run, I haven't really. I just think Trench is just way better on this map, honestly, and I don't think Anvil, in my personal opinion, is worth the ban here, since Trench gets utilized so often.
Hey, the extra APS, things like that, the extra barbed
Right,
wire,
yeah.
we're going to see it all as we're loading in right now to Favela's Demolition. It is going to be an amazing matchup, man. Like you said, but this is the second time that we've gotten to cast this map Demolition today, and I must say that the first one did not let down, did not disappoint whatsoever. And right now, man, I'm expecting a lot more fireworks, as both of these teams are ready to go up 2-1 on each other, but only one team is going to be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, this is my eye right now is on the draft, because I'm curious to see who they're going to end up picking here. I mean, obviously, like, Glitch and Anvil being banned out. The Runway is here. Now this is a great map for Runway for sure. Like, it follows the same sort of mindset and perspective that Breach has, where you have a lot of cover. There's a lot of places you can set up that briefcase, and util is probably one of the single most important things to utilize on this map. It is hard to break into a lot of these sites, whether it's A or B site, because of how enclosed the areas are. And most of the time, if you're swinging a corner, you're swinging into somebody, right? So, and even though it's a small space, there's a lot of places they can be, and that's something that is you really have to be concerned about. Is my point. So I'm really interested in all this. Honestly, the Chalk, the Runway, the Kestrel, the Dahlia, great picks so far.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit confused by the side of Sweet Moose just by the choice of the Kestrel over the Dallas. Also kind of surprised that they didn't go Scorch on offense just because Scorch is such a popular pick right now. So Gaming Gorillas having that defensive Scorch, that Scorch is going to be able to sit at small garage and be able to hold it down. They're not going to be able to molly her off because of that immunity. So that's going to be massive for this squad. So now it's going to be all about who this Dahlia is going to be linking to on either side. I'm guessing the Dahlia is going to be linking with the chalk on one side. Yep, and then he's going to be linking with the trench as well to get that extra utility. So let's go ahead and see how this bad boy is going to play out as the defensive Dallas out of ink is going to be coming out right now.
Yeah, this is, man, what a draft. I mean, we've seen the Chalk Dahlia combo beforehand, and this time Dahlia's actually linking with the Trench. Probably just wants the extra util, honestly. I mean, those smoke grenades are really going to play a huge and heavy role into that, honestly. So I'd be really, really interested to see how all of this is going to end up playing out, how all this is going to end up going, because with that extra utility, that could really play a huge role into how they'll have a bit of an issue trying to push either onto A or B side, really.
Yeah, and right now you see it is going to be a slow B push right now. And now they're going to be opening things up, trying to get things started with the Kestrel, but that's not going to be able to down anyone. A little bit of damage did get put out, but right now, Fank, like I said, that Scorch is going to be holding that small garage, and that's exactly where Fank is standing as they know that they cannot molly him off of that to push into this site, and they're going to be popping that shock ult. They're getting Fank low, and just like that, they get 3 players low. There are 3 players that are less than 10 HP right now for the side of Gaming Gorillas, and just like that, swap outs.
Oh,
You gotta win this
wow.
one. Both of the Simtex is not gonna be able to come in handy, as just like that, Canny tried to come in and help him out, and that's not gonna work out whatsoever, as Gaming Gorillas gonna be cleaning them up. Man, that one was rough to watch from Sweet Moose.
Yeah, what a quick and concise game. It looked like they were starting things out extremely strong. Like things were going well because they were landing some of these shots that were forcing people to give up the angle it was they were currently holding. You open the garage door, you throw the nades in to try and see you can force people away from the objective, and it just becomes more and more of a problem, right? The longer time goes on, it seems like they're not winning these fights, they're not winning these trades, and like you said with one of them, like they have to win that, right? Like it is important that they win that there because that determines whether they win or lose the round. And that specific pick, they needed something to even the odds, and it just wasn't there. Gaming Gorillas take that first game, the first round.
Yeah, the first round is major. Why? Because that means you are going to be able to have that weaponry on your side. You see still a pistol coming out for this Chalk. And right now, man, you see the Dallas is going to be down there, and it looks like they're going to be pushing down here toward this Dallas. They're saying, look, we don't have any intel. Wow, they have no intel. I just realized that. Man, that is rough. Having absolutely no Dallas snap, no Talon Dart. They have to clear out everything with their eyes. That is so rough.
Yeah, it seems like right now that they're slowly trying to make their way back over onto A side. All the smokes are so hard to see through. They actually take early shots at Dahlia, which lets them know that he's waiting in long. You can definitely watch that angle from there. The smokes slowly dissipate. They know that they're rotating over, and they're trying to see if they can sort of hold on to what they have right now. In terms of perspective, swap outs gets brought down low, 62 damage already taken out of the 100 health he's got. And now he has to be a little bit more concerned about the rest of this. He reaches his HP, but they're like they rotated, but they're just waiting right now. Oh.
Oh yeah, and right now, cool, he's got that devotion in the back of the map. You see the Chalk gonna be ulting, pushing into sight, trying to bait something, but that's not gonna be working, and they don't have a molly to molly off the backside, so it is just gonna be a straight up gun war. They're going to need to use these pistols to the best of their ability. I believe that they have 2 players that are stuck on pistols going up against 4 guns right now. Pixie's able to down 1, but just like that, Who's That and Sinmate are able to pick up a couple at the same time, and another down comes in on the Dahlia, and that means it's just the Trench, and he's going to be wide swinging. It's all up to Canny. And you got to get over if you're getting revived, and that's exactly what that player is going to be doing. Canny able to hold him down and help his teammate get right back up, and that is going to be a 1-1 situation now. It's just like that. Sweet Moose strike back.
You take point.
Yeah, right now we tied things up. they played it extremely well too. Bomb got planted, playing that post plant, playing around the garage doors. It made it that much more of a prominent threat that they couldn't attack from sight. They had to go around to the smaller garage. They had to try and see if they can push through that. And it just became that much more of an issue, you know. So I definitely love how Sweet Moose played that and how they adapted to that situation. Now it's up to either team to really try and break this tie, really.
Yeah, big time. And right now you can see they're going to be starting off pretty basic, how most people do. And they're going to be coming to this B bomb site. You see the sniper shots trying to come out, but Cool is going to get downed by a bounce nade. And off that, they're going to be pushing and pushing fast. That is the Dahlia. Anytime you down the Dahlia on this map, you have to push it out. Simple as that. Simtek's going to be coming out, not going to be downing anything, but they are able to get that bomb down. Sinmade able to down Pixie, and that's massive because that's the Scorch. Fank gets full killed, and just like that, Ink taken out as well. 2-1 advantage for Sweet Moose, and they are starting to vibe on this offensive side.
Yeah, so far so good. It seems like for Sweet Moose, as they really cleaned that one up extremely fast, right? Once again, the Dahlia is linking to the Chalk just to make sure that he has free reign of that ability. The early nade to make sure that obviously Cool couldn't hold the position that he was holding. He already brought runway pretty low. And so with that shot, they use the nade, they flesh him out, they end up getting the down, gave him the kill, and proceeding forward. And once again, like I had mentioned before, you're talking about those situations where people are really, like we're talking about the situations where people are really keeping an eye on the enemy team and what perspective they have, like where are they going for, right? That's what we just saw one of the teammates waiting in the drop ship for, right? They were waiting to see like, okay, where's everybody at? I'm going to delay my drop so they don't know where people are at, like where I'm going to be at, and things of that nature. So great awareness on him and good play for that perspective.
Yeah, and you can see because of the lack of intel, they even have to flash check these close corners, man. Just having to clear out everything so slowly on this offensive side that they're really going to have to play off of these picks, and they're going to need to get them very, very smartly. You know, the last round was a perfect example of how this team needs to play. They need to try to get a pick and just absolutely push off of that because of that chalk. Having that chalk linked with that Dahlia, able to get back up, getting that extra HP as well. It's just so major for this squad, and they have to play around those chalk pushes.
Yeah, for right now, I managed to take the shot, but whiff so close. Manages to get picks that time though, and that's definitely going to have him thinking twice about when he decides to peek that again. Sin goes down though, and this is once again one of those numbers differentials. They found the kill on someone. Now they're going to rotate out because the call has been made. They are trying to stop going A, and they instead are choosing to go B. One of them pushes up all the way through the spawn, toss out the EMP, and they're throwing out nades, everything to try and stop them from picking Dallas up. But it seems like they'll be able to make that work for them with 5 seconds remaining on the clock. They have to plan A. They toss it out to swap outs. He doesn't have time. Oh, he does. Oh,
he was
my
barely...
goodness. He was right there.
Yeah, and just like that, you can see the shot going to get taken out as well, and now it's all up to Canny, and, you know, Dahlias are not really known for their clutching ability. It's pretty much just going to be her and her gun, and she is going to be taken out as well by Ink, and just like that, 2-2 now. So if you're the side of Gaming Gorillas, you feel like you've got to win at least 2 more rounds on this defensive side.
Yeah, that is... I was terrified. I genuinely thought that they didn't have any way, shape, or form to actually plant that because he tossed the bomb out to his teammate. I thought he had to just plant it where they could, right? But no, they actually had enough time. That was like a millisecond. They didn't have any time to waste with that one. That's crazy.
And right now, you can see in that amazing replay right there, just great stuff coming out of this squad to tie this bad boy back up. Now it's going to be all about who can adjust, man. You know what each other want to do. You know each other's play style. You understand what each other's compositions are capable of. Now it's all about adjusting, and you can see we're already getting 2 players going to be long right now. Maybe one was trying to play up. No, it looks like Ink going to be hitting a stem. He is really flying on this flank. Anytime you hit a stem while you're flanking, you are really not caring about padded steps. You're not caring about much. You are just trying to loop around as quick as possible, getting all the way up in the enemy team spawn. And he's going to be snapping pretty soon, I would assume. But Cool going to be taking out Who's That, and that's going to be amazing because guess what? If a player goes down in a 3v4 and you're flanking, you're going to be feeling very, very good coming up behind everybody, and Canny is going to get taken out. My goodness, 4 HP left onto Ink. Just like that, Cool takes out Swap Outs. Ink takes out Who's That. My goodness. Gotta watch out for Ink on the flank. And just like that, it's going to be a 3-2 advantage now for the Gorillas.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like, what a beautiful flank from Ink to try and set that off for the rest of his team, right? Because you had people, like, you had Chalk trying to peel back, see if he can deal with the kill that just happened in the backline. They have to answer him because of where they're already positioned. Nade gets tossed out, throws out the ensign the other way. Cool takes care of Swap Outs, who's trying to swing around to make it not as uneven as of a fight, to make it a 1v1. And I think the reason why Chalk actually didn't win that fight there, even though he had the extra health, was because he threw out that nade and he couldn't see where, like, where Ink was exactly. So he starts spraying, but it's not finding any shots, right? And maybe it's the fact that also Ink is playing closer than he could have anticipated. Regardless, it's great awareness from Gaming Gorillas to play in that way.
And right now, Cool, he is going to be downing Who's That, and that's going to be major, except he's going to be getting up. No more Dahlia Link for him. This Dahlia is not going to be able to do much. The thing is that the Scorch is down, but she's going to be getting back up. So now it's a 2v, and now it's going to be a 1v3, probably a 1v4 because they're going to get the trench back up. Yep, and that is going to be another win for the side of Gaming Gorillas, going up 4-2 now, and they're taking domination over this map number 3.
Yeah, that is, wow, man. What great awareness from Gaming Gorillas. I mean, they've really sort of turned this fight on their head a lot of the time. Like, it seemed like, once again, like, Sweet Moose are doing such a good job at getting things started. And this is something I had said about a team earlier when we were watching Empire of the Sun versus Just Us Roco. These teams are great. Some of these teams are great at starting things. It's just how the round proceeds and how it continues becomes more and more of an issue, right? And once again, Sweet Moose doing so well. They're getting early picks. They're finding early damage, but it's not leading them to a round win. It just seems like Gaming Gorillas are always trying to stay one step ahead. And this is such a different callback from... This is always such a different callback from what we saw them doing on, what is it? On, oh, sorry, King of the Hill.
Yeah, 100% right now. That nade might be massive, but they're going to be closing the door just in time. Man, I thought he was going to be lining that bad boy up. That was so close, man. Sadly, Cool. I believe that was his last grenade in his pocket. Oh! What? Oh my god! He missed the... What? What? He missed the sniper shot, but was still able to do 96 damage on him. My goodness. That was incredible coming out of Swap Outs. If he would have even hit a body, that player would have been deleted. And man, he's going to be pushing him out now. It's a 3v3 situation. That Trench is going to get revived. They're going to need to hand res that Dahlia if they want her to get back up. Pixie barely going to escape with his life. And now going to be a 4v4 reset. Going to be all about how these teams are going to be playing these trades. Simtex is coming out to try to push these players out. Fank going to be going down. Are they going to be able to make a play off of this? There is a player down in the corner right outside of this. Now it's going to be all about not letting these players cross back, and just like that, it is a warfare. Who's going to be finishing these kills? No sniper shot coming in. Oh my goodness! Swap Outs with the hip fire onto Cool after the Claymore kill, after the Claymore. Beautiful play coming out of Sweet Moose. My lord, Swap Outs swapping over. Woo! Beautiful play.
That's insane. Yeah, that's you can't ask for a better clip other than that. You can't ask for people to clip anything it is that you do except for that, man. That's wild. Man, oh man, yeah. What a way to close out the half. Runway and Ronan are being hovered on the side of Sweet Moose. We're talking Kestrel. We're talking Scorch. We are talking Dahlia on the side of Gaming Gorillas. Man, oh man, what a pick.
Oof, good Lord God Almighty. That was a nasty hip fire. Oh, man, and the damage from the Claymore, like, people don't understand. He got them so weak, and then he whiffed that little shot. He tried to do the flick, but it didn't matter. He baited them to come right into the Claymore, and the first player was already weak, so he just had to hit a body shot, and he was able to do that with the hip fire. My goodness, Swap Outs. And this is essentially a tie game. You know, you're getting 3 rounds on offense. That's exactly what you're going for, because now if you're able to keep things tight. Oh, the flick was so nasty, man. The confidence to
Yeah,
hit it
that's
too.
crazy.
Absolutely nasty barrel stuff coming out of swap outs, man. Beautiful stuff, man. Those type of shots, those are the $10,000 plays that we love to see, man, because right now is where you got to pull them out, especially in this series.
Already. Seems like they're trying to. As soon as this half starts, it's pretty much splitting up their resources here. It's up to Gaming Gorillas to try and see how they can push in and overtake most of these sites. It seems like they're rotating from mid all the way over to A, and they know that they're trying to respond in time. Have the ensign cooked and ready. Smoke goes out. Tons of nades to try to think they can force things out, but they get the bomb planted, and they manage to retreat off of the site.
Yeah, no idea how they honestly got that bomb down. I'm going to be completely honest, but they were able to do it, and that's all that matters. And it's planted for courtyard. So now they do have a molly. Even though there is a scorch on this side, that's not going to matter as much now. So I'm not exactly sure how the retake is going to be coming in. It's really just going to be about getting those trades and finding out where all of these players are. You can see Cool, he's still waiting for a player to come from that up top area, but that's not going to be the case. Is right now who's that? He is trying to pick somebody off, and oh my goodness, that would have been a massive pick onto Cool. There is going to be a player long. Who's that's going to need to win this one, and he's the only one that is able to even get close enough to kill him. He's able to down him. 2 HP left on him. Only the Scorch is going to be left alive. Is anyone even near enough to the bomb, though?
They can't make it.
Nobody's close enough to the bomb, and that is just a sad miscommunication situation with this squad and Sweet Moose. They coordinated it perfectly, just took a little bit too long. Weren't able to make it happen, man. Such a close round.
Yeah, they were able to at least clean up the kills towards the tail end of that, but once again, you plant that bomb down, and it is a race against the clock, and that is something you have to be aware of. That is wild, man. 5-3 so far for Gaming Gorillas. Great bomb plant. They actually were able to plant it quicker than I thought they would have been able to, because they literally planted the bomb and then like backed off immediately. Like they tossed so many nades. I thought at least one of those was going to hit and do damage, but it didn't end up being the case, right? Like they just sort of found the damage, and didn't even find the damage. They just planted the bomb and then backed off, and I was impressed with how quick they got on site and then got away.
Yeah, they were able to do an amazing job of getting that bad boy down. Nice job out of this squad overall on the offensive end, but really we're going to need to see a little bit better stuff from the offensive team, because I will say that they had a straight up 4v4 with the bomb planted for them, and they essentially lost it. If there was another second on the clock, they would have lost the round. So they are going to need to play better on offense as well. And just like that, Fank is going to get taken down. He's the Dahlia. What is he doing? Like, what? Like, it's plays like that I really wonder what players are even doing. But hey, who knows? Maybe it's a miscommunication thing. But Fank did get taken out. A player going to be coming up the zip line, and he's going to be downing another one, and that's going to be a 2v2 situation. Now, are they going to be able to get the revive? No, they're not going to be able to get that one off. So it's going to be a 2v1 now for the side of Sweet Moose. But he's going to get taken out by Swap Outs. Swap Outs able to hit the nasty Simtex, followed up by the pistol shot to win the 2v1. My goodness, Swap.
4-5. Man, oh man. This is really going the distance. I mean, like, this is not only impressive play to be able to see, but great adaptation, honestly, great strategies on either side to be brought out here. Because this is really... This is like, I'm floored, man. Like, there's only so many things it is that can actually end up being said here. Like, they are really playing to win here. What a beautiful... That's such a good Simtex nade.
Man, to stick a Dallas is running with the Simtex and then to win the next gunfight. What a clutch up by Swap Outs, man. We have seen him all day, man. It is a reason that he made the top 20 players list coming into this 10K event. A lot of players were saying, man, Swap Outs, man, he could have been even higher on the list. But hey, I had him up there. Not exactly sure what number I put him at, but he was up there in the top 15, definitely making a name for himself in the Rogue Company community right now. And for plays like that, that is one of the main reasons this dude is a problem. Plenty of top teams have said many times, look, man, you get on PC, we'll definitely give you a shot, man. Simple as that. You're an absolute demon on console, as he was part of the original console demon squad and things like that. So let's see what Ink is going to be doing on this offensive Dallas, trying to make a play, probably going to be using his snap to clear out long, trying to hit some type of a flank, because right now this offense is in a stalemate. I'm not exactly sure what they're going to be going for, but that is one thing about Gaming Gorillas. They will sit there for a minute and 20 seconds talking about what the best game plan is, and then execute it perfectly, and then wipe you out in the next 10 seconds. So that is exactly what the squad is capable of. Let's see if that's going to be happening right now. As just like that, they're going to be pushing into small, putting all their energy and focus into this area. And just like that, Bounce Nade going to be coming out, and Sinmade doesn't have tenacity. That one's going to be hurting as he's going to get taken out. And just like that, they're going to need to Simtex these bad boys and hopefully able to get another one. Not going to be able to land anything right there. Are they going to be able to get the revive off? Yes, they're going to be able to get one, but that's not going to matter simply because the bomb is going to be getting planted. But are they going to stop it from planting? No, they are not. So it's going to be a 2v3 situation now as Swapouts was able to take out Fank.
Right now, bomb is planted, so obviously playing this post plan is going to be important. Sin manages to get one, and Sweet Moose are looking better and better as time goes on. But they still have to try and find some sort of way to retake. This is a 2v2 right now. And Swapouts and Sin are going to try and see if they can actually push on the outside of everything. Tries to keep the pressure on, pulls out the sniper, but instead decides to keep the assault rifle. They have to try and push to see if they can go in. Gets Ink low, but Ink hides into the corner. For the most part, they are trading things out pretty well. Almost gets the kill. But instead, Gaming Gorillas, they are going to take that one. Pix finds the final shot, ends this round, and makes this a 6-4.
Yeah, that was extremely close. Couldn't have been closer if we asked for it. My goodness. Came down to literally one bullet. You saw him hitting those hipfire headshots, man. So close. See the great bounce nade coming out from Cool, barely able to live in the molly, and he stemmed and living with 15 HP, man. So close. You see right here, Ink was just able to push out this site right here, right before Fank got taken out. And in the 2v2 situation, Ink is able to take out one, gets taken out, but 84 HP versus about 40. And 80 is going to win most of those times, especially if these players are not missing, just like, man, all these players are not missing right now. They are all locked in extremely hard for this 10K. They are not trying to give up a single dime of that prize pool.
Right now, score being 6-4. And everyone's playing. Yeah, this is definitely the time where like the score is slowly winding down because there's not many rounds left in the game anymore, and people are definitely playing passively. Like they are holding, they are not overextending. You want to try to see if they can close this one out. Moves up by the front door, the garage, tries to open it, doesn't quite find it. The nade deters that. Now the rest of them on site have to sort of back off as they realize they are going A, and they actually managed to get a good enough fake out. They get that plant. Now they're going to be playing post plan. It looks like someone, they're rotating off of B side, but it looks like somebody on the side of Gaming Gorillas is actually flanking around behind them. Like it looks like somebody's still playing up. Yeah, it's cool. Cool on the Kestrel is trying to push out behind them.
Yeah, and this is what Cool is known for. He goes for those flanks, trying to shoot as many people in the back as possible, and now he's set up. He can actually clutch up from here. He didn't even need to do that. Could have saved that Kestrel, but ends up getting a pick anyway, and that's going to be one left, and that player is going to be on long, so they're going to be good to go in this one. Wow. They're going to be going up 7-4 now off of that play. Great stuff coming out of this squad of Gaming Gorillas.
7-4 right now. As Gaming Gorillas are on match point here, see if they can break the tie in quarterfinals. This is 7-4 right now. Sweet Moose, they are down, but not out. We have seen them fight back from the trenches before. This is something I'm interested to see if they can do it here. This is looking pretty good for Gaming Gorillas right now.
Yeah, overall, very solid. Just need to win one more offensive round, but hey, look, one round at a time. That's how you got to take this if you are Sweet Moose. This is definitely doable, but not if you're going to be challenging like that. But hey, listen, man, to each their own. And right now, Sinmade gets taken out. And is he going to get revived? Yes, it looks like that runway is going to be on him, but the bounce nade comes in to finish him off, and they are just going to be pushing this one out expeditiously, and that's going to be all she wrote, as they are going to take a 2-1 series advantage. And an overall solid play out of Gaming Gorillas yet again in Demolition. Now, they're going to be going into a King of the Hill next, and the way that the last King of the Hill looked, I don't know if I'm feeling so good if I'm Gaming Gorillas.
Yeah, neither do I. Because of how well they were actually able to sort of close it out quickly on the side of Sweet Moose, I definitely think that this is something that Gaming Gorillas has to take to heart, especially with how the last one went, just like how you were mentioning about that. It was a very quick 2-0, dust your hands off sort of game, and Gaming Gorillas have to come into this one and be like, okay, well, we can't let this go this way. I'm not even sure if they really want to go to a game 5, honestly. I mean, this is something that they really have to try and keep the pressure and hold of if they want to try and hold this momentum down, you know.
Oh yeah, big time. And let's go ahead and check out some of those replays from this last match. There were so many close calls. You see who's that barely able to get him and able to down Cool in the corner. Came down to a one-on-one, as so many of these rounds did. Countless rounds on this map came down to just a 1v1 situation. The better man ended up winning, and man, just a nasty Simtech, or a nasty and nasty play out of Ink on the flank, able to barely live. 4 HP, man. Swap outs doing what he does on this runway with this sniper in hand, man. Just absolutely disgusting. So dirty, you got to put it in slow-mo. And man, you see Ink with that accuracy that he is known for. And man, just this squad as a whole, they were just looking amazing. Swap outs, he is doing everything, man. The hip fire was just absolutely incredible. Definitely a top play. And he had this one. Man, swap outs was actually having a little highlight reel on this map right
Yeah.
here. Sadly, he wasn't able to come out victorious, surprisingly, putting all those amazing clips together. But hey, look, man, you got to take it a map at a time. And if anything showed us in the last King of the Hill, is that right now these teams, anyone can win any map. So I am putting absolutely nothing past either team right now. This one is going to be a toss-up going into this 4th map.
Yeah, right now we've seen this time and time again, or at least it's felt like it's been time and time again. Gaming Gorillas, they start off with a strong lead. Now Sweet Moose takes it back a 2-0. Another 8-4. This time is 1 point less than how the first game ended. I wonder how Factory will go. You know, we're talking about King of the Hill. We're going back to the King of the Hill game mode. It is something that is extremely prominent. People love playing on this map. They love, well, not love playing on this map, but they love playing this game mode. They love playing the versatility. They love having the versatility in a lot of these competitive sets. And I'm wondering how Gaming Gorillas is going to really try and have some adaptation for this, because it's really something that you have to be, like, it's something you really have to be concerned about. Like, you know, you did not do well the last time it is that you played a King of the Hill match, and this is something that you really need to be looking forward to here.
Yeah, 100%. You know, if you know that it's something that you struggle with, then you have to excel on it. But this is the thing. Speaking of excelling on it, Sweet Moose, they are undefeated in King of the Hill in October, at least on stream. So 4-0 in King of the Hill maps, that is a very nice thing that they can put on their resume as a squad. So who knows? They're looking to keep that streak going, as they did win that breach very convincingly. So who knows? Maybe this squad is a King of the Hill team. Who knows? But hey, you still got to end up winning that last demolition, even if you take this King of the Hill.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's something that you always have to keep in mind for sure. Like, Palace is one of those maps where I actually really love the fluidness and the creativity that we've seen a lot of these teams bring here. Like, the inclusion of being able to play on top of the roof, and obviously like on multiple different roofs, and putting and being able to fight ground level as well means that there's a lot more creativity for how people are going to actually approach that map if we do end up going to a game 5. Factory, though, is one of those King of the Hill maps where I've seen things turn around a lot, and it really just depends on the perspective that you need to have for a lot of these different maps, right? I mean, King of the Hill is something that, like I said before, adding it to the competitive rotation, something that teams have really been enjoying playing on. And Factory is definitely one of those maps where I've seen a lot of games played here. I've seen a lot of games lost and won here. I definitely think this is a map that people would prefer to play King of the Hill on.
Oh yeah, 100%. And right now, it is going to be a very electric match between these two squads. I'm very interested to see if one of them is going to be confident enough to pull out the sniper, is someone going to be using that runway for that dual threat combination of the sniper and the AR? I wouldn't be surprised if, honestly, any three players between swap outs, Pixie, or Cool were deciding to do
Mhm.
that. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see what rogues are going to be chosen, how these teams are going to be playing this one, because we know how fast paced Factory can be. It's also probably it is the closest ranged map when it comes to close range gunfights. So SMG play has been popularized. That's the reason that a Mac has been coming out recently. Why? Because guess what? If you play with Mac, you're going to be
Mhm.
able to get that extra APS and have that SMG and just absolutely shred players with that extra HP to your name. So it's just going to be interesting all around. There's so many different rogue options in this current meta that it's really just going to be about these players and what they feel like running.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, this is so that's extremely interesting. I'm thinking about the characters and the bands it is that will potentially come through. I mean, one of those bands is definitely Vi. I mean, to be honest, like I'm expecting some of the same bands that we typically see, the usual suspects, the Vi, the Scorch. Obviously, they're great on respawn game modes. I think they're great to actually be utilized too. And I think that's probably what the most important thing is when we're looking at a map like this. So that's those are two characters it is that you definitely want to get rid of. They're great on pretty much every single respawn game mode and every single map. I wonder if we'll see the consistent use on the Mac once again. Like that's what I'm curious about. I'm curious about seeing how the Mac is going to be played here and how it's going to end up being utilized. Is more so what I'm curious about. So
Yeah, right now we just gotta wait and see. We're just
mhm.
waiting on word, and it looks like we are gonna be able to see those bans right now. So we're gonna be
Kestrel and Vi,
looking
okay.
at a Kestrel and a Vi situation. So that Scorch is gonna be left open yet again. So maybe this squad in Sweet Moose, I don't know, man. Maybe this is their go-to thing, that leaving that door open. I don't know, man. Maybe they just want to get rid of Vi because they're comfortable in playing the Scorch over the Vi. But either way, Kestrel going to be banned out yet again. Swap outs has over a 60%
Mhm.
pick rate on Kestrel. So either target banning him or who's that? Both of them do like that rogue a
Yeah.
ton. So we're not going to be seeing anyone on Kestrel right now. So not exactly sure what rogues are going to be selected, but at least we're able to see those bans. And man, I'm definitely expecting a Scorch, Dallas, and a Dahlia on both sides
Yeah,
simply
for
because of
sure.
the Molly situation. So yeah, I'm expecting to see a very, very, very explosive matchup, and I cannot wait. I'm extremely excited.
Yeah, Kestrel and Vi are both really good bands. I once again, just like you were saying, I definitely think that Scorch is one of those bands that we might actually end up seeing. Lancer is a character that we've seen picked even on the respawn game modes for this map. And while it's a character that I don't think has the most value on this map, because typically there's not really a lot of places that you can flank unless you're going to like somebody's spawn or something like that, right? A lot of it
Yeah.
is the same for the previous map it is that we just played. For a lot of it is the same for Favelas, where it's kind of a wide map, but there's a lot of more centralized action based off of how little distance there is between both bomb sites, right? So I don't think Lancer really has like that good of a place in terms of being picked, but I have seen it before, so can't necessarily rule it out. It's definitely something that I'm interested in seeing. I mean, Scorch, Dallas, just like you were saying before, like I definitely think those two are always really strong, no matter what the situation, no matter what the composition is. We've seen Seeker actually be utilized as well on this map before, not just by Frag Out earlier, but a couple of other players as well. I'm excited to see how this game is actually going to go.
Oh, yeah. And let's hop right into the action as we are going straight into Factory King of the Hill. Let's see which squad are going to reign supreme here today. As right now, Gaming Gorillas, they are up 2-1 in the series. They've won both demolitions. And now they get to redeem themselves in King of the Hill once again. If they don't want to see this bad boy go to a fifth and final map of demolition. But I'm not gonna lie, I want to see it. I'm not gonna lie. Before we get out of here, I definitely want to see a
Mm.
map 5 yet again. Why? Because guess what? Map 5s bring the hype. Map 5s are where champions are made, and you can see the Scorch, the Dahlia, the Mac, and the Dallas gonna be locked in for both of these squads.
Yeah, so far so good in terms of drafts. I'm just looking over it's actually like I said, so far so good, but it's literally the exact same copy of the
Yeah.
the drafts on screen. Like they're both running the Dahlia, the Dallas, the Scorch, and the Mac. It is a great team to be able to have. I had mentioned before that I was interested to see if people were really going to continue utilizing the Mac, and it seems like they are. It doesn't seem like they'll have much of an issue trying to play, trying to play that character for the most part. It definitely looks like a good idea. Something
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, I just think that these squads right now are just in prime position to come out and put their stamp on this game. Right now is going to be where everything matters. They put everything on the line. Inc. was known on Just Us for being the top fragger when it came to this map. He was known for dropping a very decent amount of numbers every single time that they spawned into here. So now we just got to see exactly what he's going to be able to do yet again. But this time, he's not on Just Us. He's on the Gaming Gorillas, and he's looking to take out the Sweet Mooses, or the Sweet Meese, however you feel like describing multiple moose. And there we go. Moose Eye, I'm getting from production, so that is news to me. That's very interesting. So the Mac is going to be coming out for Who's That, getting 2 original downs right there. Cannibals getting a 3rd down, and that is a great wipe coming out for the side of Sweet Moose to start these bad boys off with a very nice lead, and they're going to be able to not take out Cannibals is Ink, and he's trying to come in, do what he can with the pistol, but no, this squad and Sweet Moose, they are locking it up. They are putting the key away and not letting this squad even get a point so far.
So far, so good. 41 points to nothing on the side of Gaming Gorillas. As this is once again like looking like a cleanup. Like this is looking pretty clean for the most part on the side of Sweet Moose in terms of gameplay. They are definitely making this a fast respawn sort of game mode. They managed to at least trade each other out. Ink manages to get Who's That trades out Fank. Now they found their way onto the objective here. Tosses out the nade, the ensign, to try and keep the pressure on. Now the kills are flooding through on the side of Gaming Gorillas. They're at least doing a decent hold of this site so far.
Yeah, and they might be able to tie this thing up if they're able. Oh my goodness, and he's able to win that one. And that player had headstrong. Just a great play all around by Ink. No stem though, so he's going to be going down to that molly grenade. And now Cool trying to hold on to this site control. Going to be putting down that ult, telling his Scorch, hey look, move out the way. I need you to move just a little bit so I can put it down, so I can flash everybody for you. And just like that, you're going to be flashing everyone on the map in that area, and they're going to be taking control of it yet again. So we're going to be looking at essentially a tie game going into this Sea Hill. So now we got to see if the Moosai are going to be able to hang on here, because they've got the spawns, they've got the gunny, and they're going to be taking out 3 players just like that, and they are going to be in complete control of this Sea Hill.
Yeah, so far so good for them right now. 48 to 64. As it's steadily building. It seems like for the most part that there's at least a minute on the C site left. So they've just managed to make it over to this site, and they're at least clearing it out. Hey, this is a better look than what we've seen so far on these respawn game modes. They're actually pushing in together and really making it their own for right now. They get so many kills, the flash goes out. You may get blinded, but you do know that you are in control of the site.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they need, you know. Right now, it's a 30-point lead. They're chipping away. Wow, that grenade's so close to full killing him. But hey, that extra HP going to be helping a ton. The Mac Dahlia link coming out, but that player's going to get full killed. Nothing good coming out of this push. But they are able to take out yet another player. And just like that, this squad and Sweet Moose, they're going to be controlling this hill for the scrap time, and they're going to be heading into this final hill. But right now, the squad of Gaming Gorillas, they are going to have a stronghold on this hill. They're going to have the setup that they want. You can see the Mac with the extra HP and the LMPX. He's going to be hugging this wall, just waiting for anybody to come and challenge up close, because guess what? A Mac hip firing at close range with a sub is very, very hard to deal with, especially with that extra HP. So let's see how this engagement's going to go down. We got Mac on Mac, sub on sub, D40 Which one's going to be able to win? And just like that, the D40 is going to be coming out on top. Who's that? Able to do what he does, and can he? Able to get another down onto Ink with the little peek right there. Only one left on site that he's going to know about, but he's going to get pinched out. Yeah, great play by Pixie overall, and now Cool, he's going to be trapped in this corner. He's going to be going down as well. Man, this is such an intense matchup right here.
Yeah, so far, Ink manages to get one with swap outs. Cannibals gets the down on Ink, and they actually force up the respawn. 24 seconds left, and they still have time to make it back to the objective here. They've got their opportunity. Mac has his ability. This is the last and final push that they'll actually be able to need, as they do have their flash set up. They're going to have to try and push through anyway. Scorch is trying to see if they can go through here. It gets tagged all the way from the back. Pixie, Fank, yeah, all of them are just going to end up getting killed right there. That was a close one. The Gaming Gorillas are going to go down 1-0. It's another match in the mist for Sweet Moose.
Yeah, Sweet Moose right there, yet again clutching up at the end where they need to. Man, they are doing an amazing job overall on this final hill every single time. Even when it's a tie game, it's looking like it's a close game every single time. It seems like this squad just has the answer on that fourth and final hill, and this map is such a momentum-based map that extra money you get for winning the round, that is going to come in so much handy for this Sweet Moose squad. If we could see the scoreboard really quickly just to know exactly who is doing what on these squads. Okay, who's that right there? That's the reason that he was on the top 10 of my list, man. He's been absolutely fragging out for his squad every single chance that he gets. 12 downs in round 1 with Mac. That is massive.
So far, things have been looking pretty well for Sweet Moose as time has gone on. Only 2 points for Gaming Gorillas, because most of that time was spit contested, but snaps his finger and gets the reveal. He can't push in yet, though. Has to roll into that corner, but the instant is going to be all she wrote as 8 goes down. Fank comes right around the corner. They manage to at least stop swap outs. They swing around the corner with the Mac, and they lower him to virtually no HP, as they are at least going to try and see if they can force things out from here. They didn't know where he was at. Unfortunately, who's that? Living with no HP.
Yeah, and he's going to be able to heal that back up by getting that down. That extra 25 armor is just such a good passive to have. Ink trying to do what he can, taking out Cannibals right there, and it looks like they are going to have control of this hill for now, so it's going to be all about controlling those spawns, and right now Ink is just trying to lock it down for them. Molly going to be coming out, going to be blocking off this way, which means they're all going to be coming right into Ink's sight line, and that's exactly what he's looking for. As he's on Cannibals, he's chasing him. His teammate's going to be helping taking him out. Now the pinch is going to be coming on the players inside of Blue Room, and just like that, you're going to be hitting your headshots with a pistol. You're going to be feeling good, and you're going to be taking the lead off of this hill.
Yeah, now they have a good position. Trying to set them up for the next one. Dallas is slowly making his way over. He's trying to clear as many of these angles as he can, but it's not really going the way that he might anticipate. He is already over there, at least next to the new objective spawn, but instead he goes right back around, tries to swing through. And Gaming Gorillas are in pretty strong control of this objective so far. Yeah, he's already in control of the next site, and I don't think they know that he's even over there right now.
Yeah, exactly. That is the issue right now, but we got to see if Ink's going to be able to make things happen. He gets one, gets a half. They are able to down that player as well, and now they're going to be snapping out and understanding where these players are going to be coming from and knowing that he can push up safely. And this is just a great play all around coming out of Ink individually, and right now players are going to be spreading completely around trying to retake this, and I like this play coming out of Sweet Moose. They're taking multiple angles, whether it's mid, whether it's the long way, but that's not going to matter as 3 are going to be dropping on the side of Sweet Moose, and all that's left is going to be Canny, but Canny takes out 3 by his lonesome, and it's down to a 1v1 on site, and just like that, Cool going to be winning that one, but now he's got to feel the wrath of Canny's teammates as they're going to be coming in trying to take him out, and just like that, they're going to be flooding in. That is the issue with everyone dying at the same time, is everyone's going to be running at you at the same time, and they're going to be retaking this hill yet again. Fank going to be able to get a crazy down with just a couple of HP. My goodness, and just like that, they retake the hill. But Ink Gonna be doing what he can. My goodness, the hype just doesn't stop. Man, there's so many good plays coming out back and forth between these two squads.
Yeah, picks up the nade and manages to toss it out. They already are in control of the next hill so far. Throwing out the APS, and Mac almost has his ability up, actually. So this actually will do a great job at stalling out their push. I imagine he plants it as soon as he gets it up. Like, or at least somewhere close to that. Okay, so he gets the down, and they swing out and manage to get another one. He has to definitely plant it now, yeah. There's no way that he leaves that any longer. But it may have actually been not as well timed, because it might blow up before they even get there to be able to push back on site. So maybe the stall won't be as likely. Yeah, it does blow up. The flash goes out, but at least Ink gets one on the incoming. Cool, putting out some suppressing fire. They roll through. They now have the info on where the others are.
Yeah, and that's all they need right now. This is a solid hold out of Gaming Gorillas, but all it takes is one retake from this squad. They're able to get one down. They got two down. It's a 2v2,
Wow.
but Cool, calm, and collected on site is able to take out two. There's a third, and just like that, it's going to be a 1-1 tie game. Baby, this one is going the distance yet again. Man, and I will say that who's that going from 12 downs in the first round, only 4 in the second round. Gonna need to pick it up in the third one if he's gonna want to help his team a little bit more. Pixie, 21 downs though out of him. He is on an absolute tear for his squad right now on this Scorch, and this is the reason why you see Scorch banned so many times, that if you are capable of playing it extremely well, guess what? You're gonna be a problem on the map, and that's exactly what Pixie is showing right now.
Yeah, this is 1-1 tie so far. I'm super excited, man. Like, we've seen the adaptation from Gaming Gorillas. Let's see if they can actually take this one home, or if Sweet Moose have their number here. They will at least get control of the first hill, I believe, as they are closer to it. So yeah, they are going to be the first ones to step on site, tossing out EMPs. They managed to land one, has an ensign already ready as well. And all these smokes, it's going to be difficult to try and push through that one. Cool gets down a little bit early. They at least take out one. Now they're at least trying to find ways to push in. One of them pushes in as well, but two of them swing around the corner, and it's going to be a little bit too much for Gaming Gorillas to be able to handle.
And right now, Ink trying to make something happen as he knows that there is a player on this closed wall. Gonna be 78 still. Oh my goodness, the punch!
Wow.
What? Oh my goodness, the reaction time to know to be able to punch right there, getting that player so weak, hit him for 78, knowing a punch does 30. Just great math right there with the 8 to spare. Wow, what a play by Ink there to even get it down, but it's not going to matter because Sweet Moose going to be controlling that entire first hill, going up 50-0. They're already a third of the way winning this round right here.
You know, so far, see that they're trying to make their way onto the next objective or the next site. Cool, lights one up, swap outs. Looking pretty low, cooks the nade, sees if he can get the finisher on him, and does find it. The nade goes out, and Cool finds another. There's one playing close, and he knows that. Smoke to go through, spraying the smoke, trying to find out where he is, and instead he has managed to back off. Too much heat on one side for him. He's got to decide to leave for now.
Yeah, it's really looking like this B hill is the one that they're making their home right now. It's really the hill that they're getting the most points on, aside from that final hill. And right now, Pixie, you see, he's able to get 2 in that room. And Pixie is on an absolute tear right now, just as he gets taken out barely by Candy, going to be living by the skin of his teeth. Man, Cannibals with another down onto Cool. He's playing amazing Rogue Company right now, and Ink, he's going to be revealing that player, and that player's not going to be expecting him as he takes out Sin Made very, very quickly, and now he understands this next player is here. That player is going to be hopping on up. Now the question is Ink going to chase him, or is he going to back out? He's chasing him, and just like that, takes out another player. And man, Ink becoming a problem on the map, and they're going to have to find him and kill him. And there you go. He gets taken out, but not before Fank trades that out as well.
This is Metal Gear Solid Ink. This is like him sneaking around corners, trying to keep pressure on a lot of different teammates. Like, most of them don't know that he's there. It's just great play from that team, and they take care of Cool on their way in. This is actually not looking so great. Scorch is trying to hold her own. She actually did so much damage. The damage spread out so much throughout the teammates, but when they swing together, it's going to be that much harder. They just repair the armor. They try and keep the pressure on, and he wins through the smoke with 1 HP. Are you kidding me? Ink makes it back onto site and holds on for his team. 77 points, and they're still climbing. 1 HP through the smoke, and he kills 2. He cleans up the rest of them.
Yeah, and that's going to be amazing because not only do they get that, but it's looking like they're going to get this final 15 seconds of scrap time, and that is going to be absolutely major for this squad because guess what? They've already got spawns for next as well, and we know how much of a power hill this 4th and final hill can be. So now it's going to be all about will this squad be able to break it or not. And man, you see Ink living literally barely with 1 HP.
Yeah.
Could not be closer.
Yeah, that is a close call. That's like a wipe the sweat off your brow sort of moment as they're trying to push in. Mac plants the flashbang. It's charging up. Definitely deters them from pushing in. Cannibals gets brought down too from great shots. Thanks to Cool, sprays through the smoke. It doesn't find any hit markers. So instead, he's going to try and lock this one down for now. Swap outs with the bounce nade. Knows that he's in that corner. The flash goes out. There's no flash to be actually hit, but it is enough to deter them from getting onto the site for a little bit. Ink wins another fight on the side. This is it, Rome. This is, looks like there's not going to be a game 5. They actually take this one by storm. 149 to 150. Not enough points on the side of Sweet Moose. They weren't able to win that one. Gaming Gorillas, they take this one and move on.
Woo! Man, that one was incredible, man. Gotta adjust my ears for that one, man. Eardrums were going crazy, man. So many amazing plays coming out of both of these squads. Such an explosive, fast-paced map, my goodness. But at the end of the day, Gaming Gorillas were able to reverse sweep it, being down 0-1 in the King of the Hill, coming back to win the final 2 rounds. That is the mentality that you have to have in these tournaments, and those are the $10,000 plays that you love to see. So guess what? They just guaranteed themselves at least top 3 in the tournament, so that is amazing. And they are going to be coming back tomorrow as they make it to Championship Sunday, so that is big props to the side of Gaming Gorillas.
Yeah, that was amazing plays, great adaptation. I mean, we had talked about it before, a little bit concerned about them coming into this next game, them coming into this next match, because this was something that we had not seen before. Something that we really hadn't, like seen them do so well on in terms of making it to this Respawn game mode, King of the Hill. Obviously, it's something that we saw them lose on pretty heavily and pretty strongly, honestly. But here they are in a situation like this where they're doing well enough. They just now make the adaptations where they need to, and it's netting them the win.
Yeah, and right here you can see from these replays from the get-go, this squad in Gaming Gorillas, man, they were looking absolutely locked in today in every way possible. They came in with very high aspirations, and they have already guaranteed themselves top 3 overall in this tournament. But we all know that last day, that Championship Sunday, anything can happen. So who knows what all is going to happen on that final Sunday, man, as it looks like just an update for you all. Right Turtle did take out Just Us. So even though Right Turtle lost map number 1, they were still able to win the next 3 maps and take out Just Us. So they are going to be seeing Gaming Gorillas in the winners finals tomorrow. That is going to be the first match of the day, and that is going to be an absolute bloodbath.
Yeah, there are some amazing matches that we have in store for the following days. It's going to be an absolutely amazing opportunity to be able to witness all of that great Roco action. And then I'm just once again floored by all the performances today, for sure. This was an amazing showing from Gaming Gorillas. The adaptation was great because for them to be able to go down 2-0 on King of the Hill and then make it back into a situation to where this is becoming more and more difficult, it makes it that much harder to actually deal with. So this is great. This is wonderful for them to be able to secure that spot for themselves. They have done extremely well. Such a frequent and prominent team, honestly. And of course, this is nothing to say about Sweet Moose's performance throughout this set today, man. This is an absolutely it is absolutely an amazing opportunity for them to actually be able to play. there's so many things, so many players that comes to mind, and one of them, and there's one thing that actually comes to mind to me, and that's actually like Ink's positioning throughout that very last push it was they had. There were two times where he sort of cemented a win for themselves. That was when he
Yeah.
was in the back towards their spawn, where he was playing Metal Gear Solid Inc., just pretty much staying back there, getting 2 picks by himself. And then there was the other time where he wins with 1 HP and clears out the rest of their team. That wins them that game. Like, those 2 plays alone win them that game. And great awareness from him, and for him to even be able to do that.
Yeah, he was showing this entire series, honestly, the reason why he is such a highly rated player in Rogue Company, just going absolutely crazy. And I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if this team would be in the same position today without Ink on this squad right now, because he was definitely the MVP for their squad today, as they are going to be heading on to the winners finals tomorrow, as only the top 4 teams are even going to make it to tomorrow. So still got a little bit of losers bracket action that is happening today, a little bit off stream. So if you want to go ahead and tune into that, you can, of course. But man, either way, Gaming Gorillas securing themselves a spot in the winners finals. Man, a beautiful 3-1 solid victory over the side of Sweet Moose. And man, just all around great stuff.